very good morning to you, South Africa. The time now is 6 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. It's time to start your day with us here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And as we know, the mornings, they tend to stay darker for longer and the nights seem to creep in earlier. It is official. Winter is here, everybody. And this change in weather patterns tends to have an effect on our lifestyle habits, what we tend to eat, as well as our moods. Well, guess what? If you're feeling under the weather but don't know why, fear not, because you are not alone. We are going to be chatting to our panel of experts about seasonal affective disorder. Yes, it is actually a thing. And of course, this morning we are going to be joined by pediatrician and allergist Professor Claudia Gray, as well as clinical psychologist Clint Maggot. Of course, for the next 3 hours, we want to inform you. Make sure that you are involved in the chat as well. So make sure to fill up your coffee cups and stay with us for the next 3 hours. But whenever I'm having a bad morning or bad start to the day, I look at these two beautiful faces and everything seems like it's going to be okay. So let us say good morning to the rest of the team. Good morning, boys.
Good morning, you flirt. How's it going?
I'm good, Tubbs, and you?
Good, very, very
It's
good.
nice to have you so early in the morning, eh?
Tuesday. I mean, these things happen. We all wake up to start on the right side of Feel Good.
Yes, and thank you for choosing us, and you, Mzansi, thank you for choosing to spend your morning with us as well, because we've got a beautiful show. 3 hours of absolute magic. But before we get into that, Tubbs, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Does the mood does the weather, kind of affect your mood quite drastically?
It does. It really does. Because it's been so cold lately, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always just like, all I want to do is sleep the whole time.
Okay, well, look, maybe there's a thing that's called seasonal affective disorder that might be a possible order that you have. And this is what we're asking you, Mzansi. We're talking about seasonal affective disorders and whether or not the weather actually affects your mood. Now, it's very interesting because this is actually a thing, and we're going to dive deeper into this on the show today. We want to find out from you exactly, is this something that you have? Are you really affected by cold weather, the gloominess, and the mood just kind of changes after that?
Yeah, and what's your preference? So let us know. Send us those voice notes on 063-408-8863. Also go onto our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, with the hashtag Expresso Show.
Of course, the magic shall continue, and standing by to do just that is Jamie Lee Domberg with the news. Let's check it out.
Starting with the national front news headlines. Now, two of the infamous Gupta brothers, Atul and Rajesh, have been arrested in Dubai. The Department of Justice confirmed the arrest last night. Now, a red Interpol notice had been issued for the brothers, who are wanted for widespread graft, fraud and money laundering. The Gupta brothers and their wives fled South Africa amid investigations into the alleged looting of billions of rands from state-owned enterprises. The total cost of state capture is estimated to run into tens of billions of rands, with many of the country's main parastatals looted. Then, staying on the local front, many South Africans have condemned Irish airline Ryanair for making them take a test in Afrikaans on UK flights, calling it discriminatory. Now, South Africa has 11 official languages, and many have said they cannot understand Afrikaans. The quiz contains general knowledge questions on South Africa. Ryanair says the questions weed out those travelling on fraudulent South African passports. It said in a statement that due to the high prevalence of fraudulent South African passports, it required passengers travelling to the UK to fill out a simple questionnaire issued in Afrikaans. Then, looking to news on the international front, wounds of the victims of yesterday's attack on a Catholic church in Nigeria's Ondo state show that a variety of weapons were used. At least 50 people reportedly died and many more were injured when gunmen stormed the St. Francis Catholic Church in the town of Owo and opened fire on churchgoers in the final moments of Mass. Numerous women and children were among the victims, and the motive for the attack is still unknown. The police have yet to announce the official death toll. Then Conservative MPs last night voted in favour of Boris Johnson remaining as Prime Minister by 211 to 148 votes. The result means that Johnson has survived the confidence vote brought by his own party. The win comes despite a substantial rebellion by his own members of Parliament. Johnson says the government can now move on following the decisive result. The current rules of the Conservative Party stipulate that the Prime Minister cannot be challenged in a leadership vote again for 12 months. The confidence vote followed anger over a report detailing lockdown rule breaking in Downing Street. Then ending off your news headlines on a good note, Max Kulati, a physically challenged bodybuilder from Kariga in the Eastern Cape, was crowned World Championship on Saturday evening in Koper, Slovenia, where he represented his country at the 2022 International Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation World Championships, the IBFF. Now, his months of preparation, sweat and extensive training had paid off handsomely. Kulati had an unfortunate surgery procedure during 2014, which left him partially paralyzed. He realized he needed to transform his negative thoughts and to find pride in himself again, and then he started with powerlifting in 2019. Kulati soon became a South African powerlifting champion, but bade the sport farewell and started with bodybuilding. At his first ever bodybuilding competition, he was crowned South African champion and qualified for the IBFF World Championship in Slovenia. Kulati says Mongizi Mata, who keeps track of his physique, said he was super proud of what he had achieved through hard work and dedication. Mata, incidentally, is a former IBFF champion, professional bodybuilder and mentor for many young athletes in the sport, and very well done to the both of them. You've truly made South Africa proud. On that note, that is where I leave your first news headlines. We will come back at the top of the hour, but right now it's time to have a first look at the sports.
Thank you so much, Jamie. It's time to tuck into all the magic when it comes to the latest sporting action. And starting off with the cricket. Now, Laura Goodall notched up her maiden T20 half-century as the Protea women's bounced back in Monday's second T20 against Ireland. Now, the Proteas won by 8 wickets to level the 3-match T20 series 1-1. And this before the series decider, which is taking place on Wednesday. Now, chasing 107 runs to win, South Africa lost opener Tasmin Brits relatively early for 15 as she was bowled by Arlene Kelly. Now, Goodall shared a 72-run second wicket stand alongside Anika Bosch as they comfortably closed in on the Irish total. Now, all-rounder Nadine de Klerk and pacer Tumi Sekekune were the pick of the South African bowlers as they took 2 wickets apiece. Now, sticking to the cricket action and heading over to New Zealand, where the all-rounder Colin de Grandhomme will miss the rest of the Test series against England due to a heel injury that he sustained in the opening match. Now, de Grandhomme bowled only 3.5 overs in England's second innings due to the heel issue, and this before New Zealand crashed to a 5-wicket loss at Lord's on Sunday to go 1-0 down in the 3-match series. Now, New Zealand said scans revealed a tear to de Grandhomme's plantar fascia, which coach Gary Steed confirming that the 35-year-old would need 10 to 12 weeks to recover. Now, de Grandhomme will be replaced by fellow all-rounder Michael Bracewell, who was with the squad for the opening test as cover for Henry Nicholls. Well, from our cricket action, we head over to the rugby pitch now, and the Bulls named a strong 28-man squad, which included a return for Springbok 7-star Kurt Lawrence as they left for Ireland for the United Rugby Championship semi-final against Leinster. Now, Lawrence was injured and didn't pass a fitness test ahead of the game against the Sharks this past weekend, but returns to the side for the trip where they will try and unseat the tournament favourites on Friday night. Now, apart from the team that took the field on Saturday and won the game against the Sharks after full time, Lawrence has been included alongside props in Piwe Matanzima, loose forward WJ Steenkamp, halfback Bernard van Linde, as well as utility back Marco Jansen van Vuren. A stacked side indeed, and we're wishing them nothing but the best of luck for the weekend's fixture. But sticking to the sporting action and moving over to golf now, where Phil Mickelson confirmed on Monday that he signed up to play in the lucrative Saudi-backed Live Golf Invitational Series. Now, the 6-time major winner will be in the field of 48 at the controversial new Tours inaugural event in London this week, and Mickelson has not played since the publication of comments in February, which he criticized the PGA Tour and the Saudi backers of Live Golf. Now, the 51-year-old had sought a release from the PGA Tour to play in the first event of the Greg Norman-led series. However, the PGA Tour has said players taking part in the event could face sanctions. Now, Mickelson lost multiple sponsors and saw his reputation tarnished after he criticized the Saudi regime, but yet sought to use involvement with the Saudi Arabia-backed Golf Super League Tour to gain leverage over the PGA Tour. Well, that's all the action and news when it comes to the sport, of course, but we will touch base in the next hour. For now, though, Tabisa Makubela standing by to give us the latest on the weather.
Thank you very much, Raul Demone. A first look at your weather. Now, total greenhouse gas emissions in the European Union reached their lowest level since 1990. And this is according to official EU data reported by the European Environment Agency to the UN. The overall reduction in 2020 greenhouse gas emissions was 34% compared to the 1990 base year. And prior to the pandemic, the EU had already reduced its emissions by 26% in 2019 and had achieved its 20% target before the lockdown started to impact emission levels. Key drivers that led to emission reductions over the past 3 decades include the growing use of renewables, the use of less carbon-intensive fossil fuels, as well as improvements in energy efficiency. Also, winters in Europe, as we know, they've become warmer, and almost all of EU member states reduced emissions compared to 1990 and contributed to the overall positive EU performance. Germany and the UK, meanwhile, have accounted for 47% of the total net reductions over the past 30 years. And from environmental news to sunrise views, you know how we like to take a look at your side of the world every single morning. Ntokozo Makotini woke up bright and early this morning from Johannesburg, capturing this beautiful, peaceful shot of the clear morning sky. As you can see, a bright orange hue coming through there. Rena Vasan from East London also coming through, capturing this really breathtaking shot of the sun coming up. Just take a look at that. All those fantastic colors. Thank you so much for sending your pictures through. And remember, you can also send yours through to us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, with the hashtag Expresso Show. And now a look at your temperatures. Polokwane, we start off with you. Your low today is 4, reaching a maximum of 22. If you're out in Mbombela, you start off at 9 today, reaching a maximum of 24. Sunny times are expected out in the capital city. That's for you, Pretoria. 8 is your low, reaching a high of 23, with Johannesburg, Josie Mabone coming in at a low of 6, reaching a high of 20. Mahikeng out in Bokoni Bophirima, 5 and 22. Those are your temps, with Klerksdorp starting off at 2, reaching a maximum of 21. Kimberley, sunny times for you. 4 is your low, reaching a high of 20, with Bloemfontein starting off at a cold start, really -1, peaking at 21. It's sunny out in Richards Bay today. 10 is your low, reaching a high of 26, with Pietermaritzburg coming in at a low of 8, reaching that maximum 25. The warmest place to be, Durban, this one's for you. 15 is your low, reaching a high of 25, with Mthatha coming in at a low of 6, reaching a maximum of 25. East, that's Mthatha coming in at 6, reaching a high of 25. I'm sure I'm repeating that one. East London 12 and 25, with Craddock coming in at a low of 3, reaching a maximum of 22. Becha GQ, baby, 11 and 24. George comes in at a low of 14, reaching a maximum of 25. If you're out in the mother city, 14 is your low, reaching a high of 26. Worcester 12 and 28. Sunny times for Sutherland 6 and 19, with Uppington starting off at 6 and peaking at 24. Well, no matter what it's looking like in your part of the country, it's a Tuesday. You're going to choose to make it a feel-good type of day.
Thank you so much, Tubbs. Now, of course, we are going to carry on choosing, and sometimes a no-fuss wardrobe is exactly what's needed. So today, I'm going for a laid-back, warm, and comfy look, and because, of course, it is hashtag Tuesday, you get to choose what I wear for today's show. So please come through, Mzansi, and help me choose between these two looks. Now, let me take you through the options and see what you think first. So first option is the soft cotton fleece hoodie with a cool urban aesthetic. So obviously, I love the colors here, but matching it, we've got this incredible layered effect, and it's using this comfortable, soft Sherpa jacket. Kind of reminds you of the mountain, just keeping warm, you know, all fleeced up. So this could look good, especially with the great tones that I've got going on. I don't know what you think, but we've also got another option over here. And this is kind of like a knitwear pullover layered look, right? So we've got the zipped up jacket, and we've added the sleeveless puffer for extra protection against those frosty winter months. So I definitely think both of these outfits and both of these looks are ticking the box. I don't know which one's going to look better, and that's where you come in, Nzansi. So let me know what you think, and please make me look good today and choose wisely. And of course, the choice is yours. I'm putting it in your hands. So you can head over to the Expresso social media pages and vote for your favorite look. And don't forget to include the hashtag Styled by Woolies and help me look good. Choose well, please. Come on, make me look. Julep.
Introducing new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever anytime, anywhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show this Tuesday. It's time to get into a very interesting conversation. Now, we know winter is officially here. The change of season. Ooh,
the chills.
I mean, it doesn't only come with a temperature change, it also comes with a change in mood. And for some, it can also come with allergies as well. Now, this week marks World Allergy Week, which is an annual global event that really wants to raise awareness around allergies and their potentially serious health implications.
It's a serious thing. Allergies are a real thing. Now, the theme for 2022 is allergic asthma, and it focuses on really educating people about the connection between allergic airway diseases and asthma. And with us this morning is Professor Claudia Gray, one of our favorites here, a pediatrician as well as allergist, as well as a psychologist. Joining us on the panel to discuss this one, Clint Maggot, who'll tell us more about seasonal affective disorder, which I didn't know till today was an actual thing.
Right?
Right, it's an actual thing. Now, we're asking you at home, do you suffer from allergies? Does the change in season affect your mood? Let us know. WhatsApp us on 063-408-8863 for those voice notes.
Good morning to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us on our panel. Professor, I'll start with you. What exactly are allergies?
Yeah, so allergies are, I always say it's a bit of a blips in your immune system. Your immune system's made a mistake in deciding what's safe and what's not safe. So allergies are a reaction to something that really should be tolerated by the majority or the entire population. So if you have a food allergy, for example, you eat peanuts or egg or milk and you have a violent reaction to it, potentially dangerous, but most of us shouldn't react to those things, so the immune system has got it wrong. And equally so, if you're allergic to an environmental allergen like house dust mite or grass pollen, you breathe them in, your body reacts, lots of chemicals are released, they cause swelling, they cause itching, sneezing, a blocked nose, and even a tight chest. So an allergy really is a mistake in our immune system.
It shouldn't be happening.
Now, here's the thing. Why do some people suffer from it and some people don't suffer from allergies? Are they God's favorite and the others like not God's favorite?
I won't ask you two if you have allergies or not then in that case. It's very complex and more complex than that. Like many things in medicine and probably also in psychology, there's a genetic component and there's what we call an epigenetic component, so influences above the level of the gene. So if you have a parent with an allergy, it automatically makes you more likely to have some sort of allergy. If you have two parents with an allergy, your chances are in fact 60 to 80% of having some allergic manifestation. But then on top of that, you'll see environmental influences, the timing of introduction of foods, the timing of exposure to environmental allergens, pollution, nutrition, antioxidants, antacids. There are many other factors which modify your genetic potential, so to say.
And your likelihood, right? Professor Clint, you've got to tell us here, when it comes to the theme for 2022, I mean, of course, we know that you're focusing on allergic airway diseases. Asthma is one of them, but I didn't know there was a whole range of them and that they're so common.
Sure. I don't know if you want to speak to.
Well, I think Clint is the psychological aspect of all of this.
Okay.
But that's no problem.
I'm one of God's unlucky people.
You and I.
I'm quite interested to find out, but I'll speak to the psychology.
Well, maybe you can clarify it for us. Is there a whole range and a whole spectrum of them, and are they all equally common?
Are you talking about allergic airway disease? Yeah. So that's the theme of World Allergy Week 2022, looking at allergic airway disease and helping us understand that actually there's a united front between the upper airway and the lower airway. So we, in medicine, in psychology, in all medical things, nowadays things are so super specialized that we like to look at the nose, the ears, the neck, the
That's
chest
right, yeah.
separately. But in the world of allergies, we need to understand that they're all interconnected. So, for example, if you have an allergic nasal disease, allergic rhinitis, you breathe something in that doesn't agree with you and you get swelling and itching and sort of the layperson's term is hay fever or sinus.
Yeah.
If you happen to also have a twitchy airway, you breathe an environmental allergen, or you become emotional, or you're running, and your chest pulls tight.
Immediately, almost, really.
Sometimes. But the point is that the whole airway is interconnected from nose all the way down to our bronchial tree.
Wow.
So we shouldn't treat an airway part in isolation. For example, an asthmatic, if they're struggling for control, we always have to say, how is your nose? Is it itchy, sneezy, runny? And treating the nose is a very vital part of treating the chest. And that's why the theme is united airways. So actually, even though we say it's an upper respiratory allergy or a lower respiratory allergy, the one influences the other. So we always have to look at this whole allergic tree. And I always say, guys, where does your chest start? It starts here in terms of control.
And Professor, what you're saying is that there's a lot of medical changes coming in this season, but there's also a lot of mental impact and changes when it comes to this seasonal affective disorder. What does that mean in a broader term?
So basically it refers to, we notice that mood changes tend to occur with also the change in season, and typically a reduction in kind of daylight hours. So it gets colder in winter, there's less sunlight, and we notice that immediately our mood kind of changes.
Yep.
So basically, it used to be a specific or unique disorder. So when you refer to seasonal affective disorder, it's no longer categorized that way. We kind of see it as part of a depression or part of a bipolar that usually gets kicked off or kind of made worse because of a change in season.
So, Clint, is seasonal affective disorder something that happens only in winter when it's cold and we all just want to be in our blankets?
So typically it will happen in winter. It's really got to do with, like I said, the kind of daylight hours. Some people get triggered in summer, but normally we're talking about kind of autumn and winter. And so what you will see really is like kind of people's, moods get lower. There's typically an increased need for sleep, so people want to sleep all the time. Your appetite goes up. Yeah, we're all suffering from it, actually. And there's an increased craving for carbs.
Comfort food.
Yeah.
But again, it sounds like it's every single one of us, because winter comes, you are unproductive. How do you know that you have seasonal affective disorder, or you're not just an unproductive person in winter? Because honestly, I do not want to get out of my bed in the morning. I just want to stay in bed at all, and I want carbs all the time. So how do I know that I have seasonal affective disorder?
Well, in thinking about this, I was thinking that I feel a lot better, but I've been struggling to get up in the mornings during winter. I think it is something that affects everyone. So it does make it harder for most people. But what distinguishes, obviously, when you have a disorder, whether it's just something that all of us are affected by, is really whether it impacts your functioning. So the difference for me is really, we're all going to struggle, it's going to affect all of us. But if you're somebody that already has depression or is already suffering from bipolar, this kind of makes it a lot worse, right? So you're already kind of getting that extra effort.
Yeah.
And then your mood's going to drop a lot lower. You're actually going to struggle to have energy. You're going to struggle to concentrate. And if you've got bipolar, it might actually initiate a manic episode.
You see that being triggered.
Yeah, so really want to see if somebody's now really starting to not be able to work, not be able to interact with family or friends any longer, wanting to isolate. That's when you really know that something's wrong. And typically when they've lost kind of pleasure or interest in kind of things that they used to.
They've lost their joy.
Yeah, that's kind of how we know someone's depressed, is when things that they normally would enjoy, they kind of stop doing that.
Yeah.
And if their mood is consistently low.
Well, we're keeping you here, and we're inviting you at home to connect and ask any questions. Share your experience. WhatsApp us those voice notes, 063-408-8863. If you have any questions about allergies or seasonal affective disorder, do send those through, because our experts are here to answer any and all of your questions. 1 in 2 healthy South African women suffer from iron deficiency. Speak to your healthcare professional about getting tested and treated for iron deficiency. Brought to you by FerryMed.
Welcome back, everybody, to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We are, of course, continuing our discussion this morning on World Allergy Week, as well as seasonal affective disorder. Now, Professor Claudia Gray, a pediatrician and allergist, as well as psychologist Clint Maggot, are still with us to chat about these two very important topics, especially at this time of the year with a change of season. Yes, winter is officially here. We are dreading it.
Yep.
However, we are still asking you at home, do you suffer from allergies? Does the change in season affect your mood? Please do WhatsApp us your voice notes to 063-408-8863. We do have the panel to answer any of the questions that you might have for them.
And maybe let's pick up on that asthma, because, I mean, as medical techs, I've found that a lot of my friends around this time do seem to spike quite a bit in my close circle of friends, at least. Are people who suffer from asthma when it comes to COVID more, I suppose, likely to catch COVID and have more severe symptoms of it?
Okay, so that's about 6 questions in one. The first is, are people more likely to suffer from asthma in winter? So there could be many reasons. The first is certain people suffer more from asthma when their allergen levels are high. So, for example, if you're a house dust mite allergy sufferer or a mold allergy sufferer, those levels actually increase in the autumn and the winter of those allergens. So, and we close our windows and our doors and we bring out our fluffy blankets, and certainly that can trigger allergic rhinitis and more asthma. Second factor in winter is the cold. So cold air itself is an irritant to the airways. A lot of my little patients have what I term rugby asthma. So they find the whole year until the winter when they play rugby in the cold. So it's that double whammy of exercise in cold weather. And thirdly, in winter we tend to get more viral infections. And infections are a major trigger of asthma attacks. We talked about COVID and asthma. So at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, I cannot tell you how many letters I had to churn out every day saying, little Johnny has asthma, he's at risk of COVID, please, can he learn from home? But actually that didn't bear out to be the truth. So well-controlled asthmatics and people with well-controlled allergic rhinitis are not at greater risk of getting COVID or getting COVID severely. But as with any other disease, if it's poorly controlled, including blood pressure, diabetes, and poorly controlled asthma, it is, of course, a risk factor with any virus. But if it's well controlled, there were even some studies showing that asthmatics and people with allergic rhinitis have fewer of these ACE2 receptors to which the COVID virus likes to attach. So it might even be a little hidden protection.
Oh, sorry, asthmatics, you can't use that one as an excuse anymore. We do have a voice note.
Yes, this one is from Danielle from Cape Town. Let's take a listen to it.
Good morning, Expresso. Loving the show this morning. Very interesting topic about the allergies. My son was born with allergies, egg white and milk, any dairy products, and peanuts. He outgrew the allergies for for egg white and milk and dairy products, but his pediatrician said he'll have a peanut allergy for life. So how does that work? How's that possible?
Thanks, Danielle. Very interesting question there.
Yeah, so although our focus this morning is actually on allergic airways disease, there's not a problem in diverting, because many people with eczema and asthma, especially children, could have intercurrent or concurrent food allergies as well. We call it what we call the atopic march. So you almost march from one allergic disorder to the next. So especially our kids with early onset eczema are at greater risk of food allergies for very interesting reasons. And the most common allergies across the world are cow's milk, egg, wheat, soya, peanuts, and all nuts and seafood. So your child has 3 of the more common allergies, so that's not a surprise. Interestingly, each allergen has a different pathway that it follows over time. So cow's milk, egg, soya, and wheat are outgrown in the vast majority of children. Half of them already by school-going age. So that would almost be expected. Whereas the nut group and the seafood group tend to be lifelong allergies. There's only about a 20% chance of outgrowing those. So it is a smaller chance. It's not impossible, but there is a smaller chance.
Clint, I want to get you back into the conversation, seasonal affective disorder. Just how difficult is it to diagnose it? Because we spoke about the signs and symptoms to look out for, the mood changes, but just how difficult is it to be able to address this?
It's, to formally diagnose it, it's quite difficult, because actually what you're looking for, you need to see this kind of pattern established at least for kind of 2 years. And so what we notice with people with seasonal affective disorder is that it'll start in winter and then kind of almost quite automatically relieve in spring. And so someone could obviously report that to you when you have an interview with them, but typically you'd want to kind of see this be sustained at least for 2 years to give this kind of diagnosis. So most of the time you're going to be treating and looking for a depression and then kind of noticing whether this pattern happens over time. And so typically what you'll see with someone with a depression is, like I said earlier, this kind of low mood, this inability or kind of stopping. You don't look forward to doing things that you used to enjoy. Typically there might be a little bit of weight gain, low energy, a loss of appetite, and typically really poor sleep. And so that's kind of the things that we look for when diagnosing somebody. Yeah.
Well, we've got a question here from Zakona. Thank you very much for that, Clint. Let's hear what Zakona had to say.
Good morning, Expresso fam. My name is Zakana September. I'm in Queenstown in the Eastern Cape. As we all know that winter comes very early in Queenstown. So at the beginning of this winter in Queenstown, sometime around May, I suffered a lot. I suffer from asthma. So every single year I have to suffer from asthma. I can't breathe, I can't talk, my nose becomes blocked, the chest is painful, it's hard to even swallow. It's the most painful thing.
Oh, Zakona.
Any advice for her?
Yeah, so I think we haven't managed to touch on management of asthma and allergic airways diseases yet, and that's a lovely introduction to it. People really should not be suffering as much as that poor lady is, because allergic airway disease is very, very manageable. But the trick is to have the right combination of treatments. And the notion that you can just treat itchy noses and wheezy chest as and when needed is actually incorrect. These are inflammatory diseases. So actually they need an anti-inflammatory on a daily or a consistent basis to control them. So for asthma, we have our pumps, our controller pumps, which are often corticosteroid-based, and nasal sprays, the same. But people need not be worried about that, because that steroid goes to the chest of the nose and stays there. It does not get into the system in meaningful amounts. So there's a lot of stigma about those treatments, which is completely and utterly unnecessary. So a daily treatment such as a steroid asthma pump and nose spray will go a long, long way in controlling those symptoms and making the suffering a lot less likely. And anticipate. So if you know, oh, my airway diseases are mainly seasonal, they're worse in the winter with the cold or the dust mite levels, then start your medicine at least a month before, so that your body is prepared and set up and ready to fight the allergens and the cold air and the rugby asthma and et cetera, all those things that could trigger your airway diseases.
And before we wrap up, Clint, how do we make sure that we stay mentally strong when dealing with all of this that we're chatting about? Because it can be so stressful. If you have, like what that lady was saying, Zakona, all of that suffering must obviously, affect you mentally and psychologically in that way.
Yeah, so we know that if we don't treat kind of physical illness, it's definitely going to affect your mood over the long run. So definitely, this kind of treating any kind of illness, particularly allergies and those kind of things, you want to make sure that you manage that. You definitely want to look at the amount of sleep you're getting, the amount of exercise, typically some of the basics. So even though seasonal affective disorder actually makes you want to eat more carbs, we know that eating a lot of carbs and eating also in a binging kind of uneven pattern also really has a bad effect on your mood. And typically, again, you want to kind of preempt this. So you want to start early, knowing it's going to come, make sure that you get enough sunlight, and make sure that you're still kind of out there and exercising and being in the sun whenever possible.
I definitely wanted to, speak more about treatment options. However, we're still asking you, do you suffer from allergies? Seasonal affective disorder is what we're speaking about today. Do ask us any questions. That number is 068 408 8863. We'd love to hear from you.
Made with love by Clover.
Yes, it's time to get the belly smiling. Of course, we're in the kitchen and we're talking about warm salads. Yeah, now they are the perfect solution to great days like the ones that are coming up. And I know you can feel that chill, Mzansi, and especially when you need something that ticks the nourishing and comforting boxes. And yes, you know that I love to tick that box. I'm sure you do too. So we've got something special for you this morning. We've got an olive pride, Brussels sprout, and crispy chickpea salad. How delicious does that sound? And it's definitely going to warm up and keep you full. It's a perfect for a meal and also just on its own, but also as a side dish. And I'm telling you now, you're hardly going to even notice that you're eating a salad this morning. And here to show us how's the beautiful Nonda Miso. How are you doing this morning?
I am well.
I like your look, black on black on black,
yes,
with a pop of pink, of course, in the hair as always.
Of course, always. And of course, we're
Feeling the vibes.
matching.
Yeah, we're feeling each other this morning. So let's feel each other in the kitchen and make some magic. What have you got for us? Because the colors look good,
Yeah,
the ingredients
always.
look healthy, and I don't see any meat here as well. So this is like...
Yeah, it's vegetarian.
Nice.
Right?
Okay, I love that. So this is ticking everyone's box, essentially. Everyone can eat this. What are we doing?
So if you could please help me by starting out with the dressing there. So you're going to be mixing some Parmesan. If you're vegan, you could leave it out or use a cheese substitute.
Yeah.
And some mustard, honey, the zest of a lemon and juice, some lemon juice as well. And of course, we are using the olive
Our
pride.
hero ingredient, olive pride, yes. Let me just talk to you, Mzansi, about this while we get into this recipe, because Clover's olive pride blend is highly recommended for hot applications, especially with this, as well as things like frying and grilling, stewing, baking, you name it. It is essential because it has a high smoke point, right? So listen to this. This maintains that olive flavor. It enhances the flavor of things like our crispy chickpeas, which we're using in this recipe, and also for making use of the olive pride extra virgin olive oil, which is perfect for drizzling to finish off this delicious warm salad. So you can use it to make it and then as a topping afterwards, and it's just a perfect blend of everything that you want to. I don't know, it's like the cherry on the top in a way of a salad, if you can't even say that. But I've been put to work, so let me get to that. What are you busy with on your side over there?
So I'm going to, I've mixed things up a little bit. So we're going to be cooking the vegetables, obviously. So here I've already added our olive pride oil, and I've added some onions, some walnuts, as well as I'm going to add some shredded Brussels sprouts, and then of course some shredded spinach as well.
Oh, the good stuff is going into this one, eh?
Right.
We don't need a doctor today to have one of these servings a day, right?
Yeah. So I'll leave it to cook just a bit. In the meantime, I'm going to prepare our crispy chickpeas, and I'm going to do that by adding some cumin, some garlic powder, some of our cayenne pepper as well. Oh, I've added too much. And some smoked paprika as well. And of course, we want to also add a little bit of that extra virgin, well, I'm adding the olive blend, but we could also have added the extra virgin oil. And then, of course, toss everything together. And we are going to transfer the chickpeas onto a baking pan. And we bake these for about 15 minutes until they are crispy.
I'm just thinking, like, just on those spice options alone and on these, like, flavors, it's got that warmth already. Without even warming it up, it literally gives you that sensation of warmth, of comfort, which I think is perfect for winter. And I mean, I'm starting to, like, really gel with this concept of, like, a warm salad for winter. It's really starting to make sense. I mean, you think of, like, soups for your winter food, kind of getting that warmth in. This is like another healthy version of that, and you're getting all those good textures, crunch coming through as well from what you're using here. So I'm loving the idea of this. I've never thought that it would actually make sense, but it's making sense. It's ticking all the boxes.
It is, and doesn't it just smell lovely as well?
Yes, exactly that. It's like, come on here. It's also like medicine, really. Like the good kind.
And I always say, like, let food be thy medicine, hey.
Yes,
you can.
I love that. I love that.
Get all your nutrients from your whole foods, which is what we're using here, and that's why I absolutely love this recipe.
Yes.
And
it doesn't seem to take long. I just wanted to ask you, I think I missed the note on how long are these chickpeas going for?
For about 15 to 20
not even
minutes.
that long.
Yeah, it's not that long at all.
Okay.
You want to cook this, or bake the chickpeas until they're crispy.
Yeah.
And crispy chickpeas are all the rage these days. Everybody's selling them. They're so good. You could even eat them like chips if you.
Literally, I've been caught doing that, to be very honest with you.
They really are good. I really love them.
Good source of protein as well. So, of course, when you are looking for meat-free alternatives, chickpeas are always great to add into your dishes because, like I said, if you are counting calories, if you're looking at a macro balance and you want to get your carbs, your protein, your fat, then protein's definitely going to be a great choice when it comes to adding chickpeas to your meal as well because it's a great source of that. So we're ticking so many boxes. I'm just thinking about this. We've got nutrients, we've got warmth, we've got the spicy love that you want for winter, and, of course, all of that in a salad. Come on, Mzansi, what's not to love about this?
What more can you ask for?
So pretty much that's it, right? Once this is done in the pan, and then it's grabbing the chickpeas, popping them straight on there?
Yeah, so we're going to sort of add in our chickpeas, and then we drizzle our dressing that you have there. Can you add a bit more olive
this
oil?
that I've just prepared for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get that on there. Look at us making magic in the kitchen. And I can only use all of this because I know some people are going to want some of this for later.
Yeah, but
how cool is that?
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't really drizzle on.
You could have added more.
Got a more of a rustic vibe to it, but I think I could have definitely added some more of the olive prior to that. But hey, well done to us.
You get the gist of it, right?
Yeah, I got the gist and some. And I'm loving the fact that if you look and fast forward into time and you get something like that at the end of it, but what a beautiful recipe, Mzansi. And you can get this by simply heading over to expressoshow.com. And if you missed any of the steps, well, don't worry. Firstly, shame on you where you've been, but don't worry. We got you covered because here is a recipe recap of all this box-ticking goodness. Enjoy.
Made with love by Clover.
Join Expresso this autumn for a chance to win one of 6 Plascon vouchers, each to the value of 5,000 Rand. With nature's own forests, fields and beaches inspiring Plascon's new color combinations, tell us how you would color your life. Answer our weekly social media question and find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. So, color your life with 5,000 Rand Plascon paint vouchers to be won this autumn on Expresso.
welcome back, everybody, to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Of course, this week is World Allergy Week, and it comes at such an appropriate time as the season is changing. Now, that also means that your mood or mental state can be affected given the drop in temperatures and the fact that there are less hours of daylight. Well, Professor Claudia Gray and psychologist Clint Maggott are still with us this morning as we continue to delve deeper into the discussion about allergies as well as seasonal affective disorder. Again, we're asking you at home, do you suffer from allergies? Does the change in season affect your mood? Please do WhatsApp us your voice notes to 063-408-8863. And we actually have a voice note.
We do.
From Anonymous. Let's take a listen.
Good morning. If you're suffering from allergies and you are also on an antidepressant, is there a correlation between the effectiveness of the antidepressant pills and your sinuses and allergies? Because I feel like my antidepressant's not really effective at the moment. Or am I imagining this?
Clint, what's happening in this situation? Thank you, Anonymous.
So typically there wouldn't be an actual interaction between, you know, the kind of medication that you might be using for allergies and then an antidepressant. But what we do know is that if you've been on kind of a stable dosage for a long period of time and perhaps it's working for you, it might just be that there's been a change, right? So it's not so much that the medication is not working, but the actual stress on the individual's increased. So it could be, like we've discussed this morning, the change in season and kind of what comes with that. It could also be that around this time of year, you know, it's the middle of the year, it's exams for kids, it's kind of, we're all needing a bit of a break. Yeah. So it could be that's kind of affecting the kind of effectiveness of the antidepressant. And what I would recommend the kind of viewer to do would be to go back to their psychiatrist or GP and kind of mention this, and they can usually adjust the dosage or kind of look at it and adding a different treatment such as psychotherapy.
And that's the best way to go about it, see your doctor, I suppose, as opposed to just kind of like going with the flow.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you don't want to, you know, you can try some things that have maybe worked in the past. So often we kind of look at what people have kind of worked for them as an individual. So maybe exercise works for somebody, or speaking to a friend, or reaching out to people. But you definitely don't want to stay there too long in a kind of a, I'm just not sure what's going on state, because it's just typically going to get worse. And so you really want to reach out and typically go to see a professional.
But this is where we speak about treatment plans, you know, knowing that the viewers are not alone. Allergic asthma, how can this be treated?
Yeah, so I think we've mentioned quite a lot already that the best way to treat allergic airways disease is anticipatory, not just reactively, but proactively or prophylactically. And we've got fantastic asthma and allergic rhinitis treatments available, and they're available to everyone throughout the country, in every single clinic in South Africa, in every single hospital. And the mainstay is a daily anti-inflammatory. So for asthma, an anti-inflammatory pump that's inhaled. We have several different devices. We modify the devices for children and use spacers, for example, so that they can breathe it in more easily. For allergic rhinitis, our basic treatment, our best basic treatment, is actually an intranasal corticosteroid spray on a daily basis. And then you have your rescue treatment when you're feeling itchy and sneezy or tight, and the rescue treatment acts quickly. So an antihistamine, for example, acts quickly if you're not feeling great. You can use it on a daily basis too, but if you need an extra boost, you can take it, it'll act rapidly to help your nose symptoms. For the chest, we have inhaled what we call bronchodilators, which quickly relax the smooth muscle in your airways and act quickly to relieve your chest if you're feeling tight. But I must just emphasize that only using a reliever is not good. You need that daily anti-inflammatory to almost strengthen your chest and make it more resistant to insults such as exercise or cold or breathing in allergens. I also just want to reiterate to the viewers that we've got some wonderful resources in South Africa. We've got the Allergy Society of South Africa. We've got the Allergy Foundation of South Africa, which is www.allergyfoundation.co.za. Yes. There's some excellent resources on there which are very patient friendly.
Yeah.
And there's also lists of practitioners there who are specialized in allergy. So the resources are available.
And you could look at the South African anxiety and depression group as well when it comes to how it's affecting you on a psychological level. Thank you so much, Claudia. Thank you so much, Clint, for joining us for this conversation. It's been absolutely fantastic. Do continue to send those voice notes through, though, as we continue this chat on 063-408-8863.
Oh, what an incredible conversation. Of course, with it being Health Tuesday, every Tuesday we bring you Pharmacy of the Week, and that's to acknowledge the incredible people working on the front line. So this is our way of saying thank you to these brave healthcare workers, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. So let's take a look at this week's Pharmacy of the Week, and it is Lakeside Pharmacy in Muizenberg, Cape Town.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
We are the first port of call for many patients in need of assistance, and the most important thing to us is ensuring that we provide the best level of care and service to our patients. As a team, Lakeside Pharmacy was committed to continuing to provide patients with the care they needed while also ensuring the safety of patients and staff. Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you did, people will forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel." And Isaac Singh said, "Two important things are to have a genuine interest in people and to be kind to them. Kindness, as I've discovered, is everything." So bravery to me is the inner strength to do what needs to be done, regardless of your own personal fears and difficulties.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Cold and flu symptoms disrupting your day? Adcock Ingram self-medication offers relief. Available without prescription. Adcock Ingram OTC, adding value to life.
Yes, that's the content we came for. Those are the heroes that we love to celebrate. And from myself and everybody else here at the Expresso studio, we thank all those fighting on the front line, and we appreciate you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Tuesday, and we're choosing to entertain you with a very, very special guest this morning. Now, he's a saxophonist And on top of that, a jazz artist. He goes by the name of August van der Westhuizen, and he's working, has worked on many stages and rubbed shoulders with the likes of some of the top G's. We're talking about Mark Lottering, Jared Ricketts, Taryn Lamb, and the fellow maestro Don Vino Prince, just to name a few, all right? So he's now working on some new music that he plans to release later this year. We cannot wait for it. And August is joining us this morning to tell us more about that and what he's been up to. August West in the building! Yeah!
Good morning.
How you doing, brother?
Well, I've been doing great, man. I've been doing it, and yet again, I'm excited to be back again.
We excited.
Yes. We are happy when you come here, but August, why did you come in June, man? You should
Well, we'll make a plan, yeah.
It's always good to have you back with us. A lot of people don't know where your musical journey started as a saxophonist. So where did that start?
It started in church, actually. And I'll say this. It's in Allergies. I grew up still staying in Allergies, which I'm grateful for. It started in church, then I joined the Christmas choir, and then from there onwards, my brother introduced me to some of the saxophonists like Kenny G and those type of people, and from there onwards, I started getting very curious about as to how does the saxophone work. And from there onwards, I started playing a concert here, a gig there, and then I totally fell in love with doing it. And I'll say this, I know how it feels when music chooses you, in the sense of I've experienced it, that one day I just felt when I saw someone play, I felt like I want to do that as well. And up until today, I'm still curious about playing
things. But talk to me about your process, because it's one thing, obviously, learning the craft, understanding how it works, and obviously being inspired by like the likes of the Kenny G's and the Chuck Mangione of our time. But on top of that, you also then have to create your own music, find your own sound and your own flavor. How does that process work for you on such an intricate instrument?
Look, I'll probably make this, or I'll say this, for the fact that all of us here, we don't stir our tea and our coffee the same way. That already distinguishes us from different human beings. And I think what is very important is that you have to be yourself.
Yes.
I mean, our personalities are totally different from each other. So if you invest in your personality, that comes through in your playing. And then I think you have made it musically, because you're not... I think we relate to maybe someone saying, he sounds like that, or he sings like that, or whatever. But in all of that, you still get to get your own fingerprint in the music. And it's, like I said, I've been enjoying it. It's been very emotional as well when I come to certain, let me say, circumstances, whether it's a concert or maybe whether it's a family that I need to just play a song for at a funeral, whatever. So it differs, but... I always try to give the fruits of which music already has given us, but just to produce to people.
I love that, man.
And then we've spoken about some big names. I mean, you've worked with Mark Lottering, Don Vino Prince. In terms of jazz, who are some of the artists that you really look up to?
Winston Mankuku is one of them. I listened a lot to him, actually, and then obviously Gerald Albright is also there, Kirk Whalum is also there. But I tend to lean nowadays more to the soil, our own music. I mean, it's been, I would say, I'm guilty of it, so I would say this, I've been neglecting my own fingerprint. But I mean, it's in that way you actually find yourself, and I think I am finding myself due to that, and not just without the, or let me say, foreign sources, but rather that what they have here as well. And I mean, we are not from there, we are from here, so because funny else. So.
And representing, and now you find yourself all the way on the Expresso show.
Yeah, man.
That means you're in front of not only just South Africans, but potentially everybody around the world. Yeah. And we are grateful for that, because you're using your gift to do something special. You're moving people, you're making them smile, and you're obviously creating magic. And that's what's going to be happening on the show, Mzansi. Don't go anywhere. Of course, this man, Mr. West, is going to be in the building doing something special with this instrument and going to be entertaining us. So enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. But that will be coming later. For now, though, Stabiso standing by with the latest when it comes to the news.
All of the joy, all of the music coming your way all throughout the morning. Now time for us to take a look at those news headlines. Starting off with the headlines here in South Africa, where people aged 50 and older are now eligible for an additional booster shot of the Pfizer COVID-19 jab. The health department said that the booster was available as from yesterday to people in the age group that had completed at least 4 months since receiving their last vaccination of either the Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer. Now, prior to this announcement, South Africans could receive one booster shot after their initial jab of the one dose of J&J or the double dose of Pfizer vaccines. Staying in South Africa, two of the infamous Gupta brothers, Atul and Rajesh, have been arrested in Dubai. The Department of Justice confirmed their arrest last night, and this follows a red Interpol notice that had been issued for the brothers, who are wanted for widespread graft, fraud and money laundering. The Gupta brothers and their wives fled South Africa amid investigations into their alleged looting of billions of rands from state-owned enterprises. And the total cost of state capture is estimated to run into tens of billions of rands, with many of the country's main parastatals looted. In international news, South Korea and the United States fired 8 surface-to-surface missiles yesterday. This happened early yesterday off South Korea's east coast, responding to a barrage of short-range ballistic missiles that were launched by North Korea on Sunday. South Korea said that the action was a demonstration of their capability and readiness to carry out precision strikes against the source of North Korea's missile launches or their command and support centers. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol said that North Korea's missiles and nuclear weapons program had reached a level at which they posed a threat to regional and world peace. And now, wounds of the victims of yesterday's attack on a Catholic church out in Nigeria's Ondo state show that a variety of weapons were used. At least 50 people are reported to have died in that incident, and many were injured when gunmen stormed the St. Francis Catholic Church in the town of Owo and opened fire on churchgoers in the final moments of Mass. Numerous women and children were among the victims, and the motive for the attack is still unknown. The police have yet to announce the official death toll. Now, the saying goes, one is never too old to learn. Now, listen to this. Apparently, that applies to skydiving as well. A Swedish grandmother, 103 years old, has just become the world's oldest person to complete a tandem parachute jump. How's that? When Ruth Larson, who was in her 90s no less, she wanted to learn more about flying, and she started experimenting in paragliding and ballooning. And in 2019, at the age of 101, she did her first parachute jump. Last week, Ruth completed her world record jump harnessed to parachutist Joachim Johansson in Motala out in Sweden, and family and friends were there all to celebrate her accomplishment, along with a judge from the Guinness Book of World Records. Now, Larson is now the world's oldest person to have completed a tandem parachute jump at the age of 103 years and 259 days. The previous record was 103 years and 129 days. After her amazing feat, Ruth had this to say, and I quote, "It was wonderful to do this. I've been thinking about it for a long time." And one definitely does wonder what she plans to do when she turns 104. Something to think about there, and hopefully inspiring all the 100-somethings of our country. That's where we leave it for now. Here's Raul with a look at your sport.
Thank you so much, Uncle Tubbsy. Now for us to dive into the latest when it comes to sporting action. And heading over to the cricket for the women's Protea action, Laura Goodall notched up her maiden T20 half-century as the Protea women's bounced back in Monday's second T20 against Ireland. Now the Proteas won by 8 wickets to level the 3-match T20 series 1-all. Now this before the series decider, which takes place on Wednesday. Now chasing 107 runs to win, South Africa lost opener Tasneem Brits relatively early for 15 runs as she was bowled by Arlene Kelly. But Goodall shared a 72-run second wicket stand alongside Anika Bosch as they comfortably closed in on the Irish total. Now all-rounder Nadine de Klerk and pacer Tumi Sekekune were the pick of the South African bowlers as they both took 2 wickets apiece. Sticking the cricket action now and heading over to New Zealand, where their all-rounder Colin de Grandhomme will miss the rest of their test series against England, and this due to a heel injury that he sustained in the opening match. Now, de Grandhomme bowled only 3.5 overs in England's second innings. Now, this due to the heel issue before New Zealand crashed to a 5-wicket loss at Lord's on Sunday to go down 1-0 in the 3-match series. Now, New Zealand said scans revealed a tear to de Grandhomme's plantar fascia, which coach Gary Steed confirmed that the 35-year-old will need 10 to 12 weeks to recover. Now, de Grandhomme will be replaced by fellow all-rounder Michael Bracewell, who was with the squad for the opening test as cover for Henry Nicholls. Well, heading now away from the cricket pitch and onto the match of rugby, which took place this weekend. And what a match it was indeed. Now, the Bulls named a strong 28-man squad, which included a return for Springboks 7-star Kurt Lee Arendse, as well as this was something that he was left out for the Island match, this taking place where the United Rugby Championship semi-final against Leinster. Now, Arendse was injured and didn't pass a fitness test ahead of the game against the Sharks this past weekend, but he's returning to the side for the trip, where they will try and unseat the tournament favourites on Friday night. Now, apart from the team that took the field on Saturday and won the game against the Sharks after full time, Arendse has been included alongside props in Piwe Matanzima, loose forward W.J. Steenkamp, halfback Bernard van der Linde, as well as utility back Marco Jansen van Vieren. A stacked side indeed, and we're wishing them nothing but the best of luck for this weekend's fixture. But carrying on with the sporting news now, heading over to golf, where Phil Mickelson confirmed on Monday that he's signed up to play in the lucrative Saudi-backed Live Golf Invitational Series. Now, the 6-time major winner will be in the field of 48 at the controversial new tour's inaugural event in London this week. Now, Mickelson has not played since the publication of comments in Feb, in which he criticized the PGA Tour and the Saudi backers of Live Golf. Now, the 51-year-old had sought a release from the PGA Tour to play in the first event of the Greg Norman-led series. However, the PGA Tour has said players taking part in the event could face sanctions. Now, Mickelson lost multiple sponsors and saw his reputation tarnished after he criticized the Saudi regime, yet sought to use involvement with the Saudi Arabia-backed Golf Super League to gain leverage over the PGA Tour. Well, that's all the news I have for you when it comes to the sports. Standing by right now to give you the latest on the weather is Jamie Lee Dumberg.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nature Boy, for that sports update. On the environmental front, a combination of global warming, habitat loss and hunting have pushed the Amur leopard numbers to a critically endangered level. But good news for all nature lovers is that the St. Louis Zoo in the US has welcomed 2 adorable bundles of joy, Anya and Arena, critically endangered Amur leopard cubs. Now, zoo curator Steve Birch has said there were so few of these rare big cats left in the world that each birth was extremely important for the survival of the species. Amur leopards are thought to be the world's rarest big cat, with only some 120 left in the wild in Russia as well as China. By the time they are fully grown, Anya and Arena will weigh in anywhere between 25 and 55 kilograms. Now, the cubs had their first vet checkup a few days ago and are said to be doing just fine. What wonderful news. We hope they grow up to be big and strong. From some positive environmental updates, we return to our own shores as we look to the skies to showcase the sunrise images shared on the Expresso WhatsApp line. Now, Tina from Sea Point captured this beautiful shot of the bold sunrise as she overlooks the ocean. Take a look at that. Then we also had Kyle LaRue from Amanzam Torti did the same as Tina and shared this gorgeous orange-hued photo overlooking the fresh waves. What a way to start the Tuesday morning. Then just a reminder to everyone watching right now that if you'd like to share your sunrise images with us, simply send it through to our WhatsApp line. That number is 063-408-8863. We'd love to see how you start your day. But that being said, let me get you geared up for the rest of the day with those temperatures. For you, Polokwane, do expect some sunshine coming your way with a range of 4 to 22, as well as Umbombela, do expect a range of 9 to 24. For you, Pretoria, your day starts out with a low of 8 and a high of 23, as well as Johannesburg can be seen with a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 20. Mahikeng, for you, it is 5-22, as well as Klerksdorp can be seen with a range of 2 to 21, and then Kimberley, for you, it is -4.20. Bloemfontein for you, -1, that will peak at 21. Richards Bay can be seen with a range of 10 to 26. And if you do find yourself in Pietermaritzburg today, do expect a low of 8 that will peak at 25. For you, Durban, it is a minimum of 15 and a maximum of 25. Mthatha for you, it is 6.25. East London can be seen with a low of 12 and a high of 25, as well as Cradock. Do expect some sunshine coming your way on this Tuesday that will range from 3 to 22. Gqeberha for you, it is 11.24. George can be seen with a range of 14 to 25. And then the Mother City do expect a range of 14 to 26. Worcester for you, 12.28. Sutherland, your low is 6 with a high of 19. And last but definitely not least, Uppington, ranging from 6 to 24. Well, that is where I leave your 7 a.m. weather update here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Oh, thank you very much, Jamie Lee Domberg. Now we're seeing that the temperatures are dropping across the country. It's time to get cozy, you know. And Raul, you know, he was desperately asking everyone this morning, help me look good this morning. Helping you, I suppose you helping him choose between two warm and comfy looks. Now the first option was the soft cotton fleece hoodie. Option 2 is a knitwear pullover. Let's see what you guys have said on our Facebook page with the votes. Shireen Abrams says, good morning, Raul and the team. Happy Tuesday. I think option 2, perfect for today's weather and to finish your look. Have a super day, team. Lots of love. Thanks, Shireen. We also got one coming through from Esme Henry, who says, number 2 will look great. Teresa Micah says, good morning, fam. Option 2 would look great on Raul. Elizabeth also coming in and saying, good morning, Expresso family. Number 2 would be great. Mary Ann Jacobs, number 2. You know, it's literally number 2 all the way. We're coming through with Zealandia saying, good morning, Expresso team. Definitely option 2 will look good on Raul. Let's see what that looks like on Raul. Raul, good morning. Come. Oh, okay. Oh. There's a whole bounce to it. There's a whole bounce to it. Okay. This looks really good. How are you liking it?
Oh man, it feels cool. I love the layers, obviously, because I love playing with my clothing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like a habit or something, but I like kind of just chilling. You know, I can put it in the pocket, I can zip it up.
You are feeling yourself.
Gives me up. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm feeling myself. That's exactly it. But on top of that, it is functionally appropriate because it's warm. I feel like I could literally just walk straight from the show now. Mountain's looking pretty good. I could head up there and catch a peek, and I'd be comfortable and warm while doing it.
Or go on a brunch date or a breakfast date.
Are you asking me out on a date?
Take it easy now, Tiger. Okay, so listen, you have the chance for yourself to warm up this season with cozy items from Woolworths. You can shop this look. I mean, look at that, right? Get it in store at Woolworths. You can get it online as well as on the Woolies app. Okay, let's go for breakfast.
Okay, deal. Yes. Julep. Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Health Tuesdays, and of course with that, everything that involves health, when it's your mind or your body. Now listen to this. 20 years after becoming the first person to cycle around the perimeter of Africa, Mansa has adapted his memoir, Around Africa on My Bicycle, to appeal to younger audiences, to educate them about the continent. Now, he joins us this morning to discuss the release of his new children's book, My First African Adventure. Now this, after teaming up with local journalist Murray Williams to complete the book. Now both of them are in studio this morning, so let's give them a nice big warm Expresso. Welcome! Yeah. Firstly, Murray, welcome to the studio, man. I haven't met you officially. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you. I know you've met Rian about 1,000 times. So I'm the newbie here, so thank you.
Okay, well, I'm still waiting to crack the nod, so you're luckier than me. Yeah, and of course, it's always great chatting to you, brother. The last time we spoke, you were coming from the Antarctic, and now you just more adventures and more incredible stuff. And I see you doing something incredible. You've adapted the book for children as well. Why? What's the reason for that, man?
Well, listen, you know, I've got a little boy who you guys will meet a little bit later, but the story was pretty cool, man. I was training for the Epic. I was cycling up a big hill in Somerset West. From the other side, here comes a guy on a little postman bicycle with his little daughter in the front, and his little daughter shouts from the side of the road. So obviously Murray's seen me. Okay. His daughter screams from the side of the road just to say, Uncle Rian, you need to write a book for children. And I was thinking, what's going on? And Murray just comes across and he says, listen, Rian, we really have to. And like about 10 days later, we were sitting in the coffee shop and we're starting to put this together. It is for a younger audience, but I'm telling you, the parents are going to enjoy it as well.
And the big kids like me as well.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Very proud of it.
Let me ask you, though, what is it that makes the book so unique and different, and especially that being a children's book as well?
Yeah, sure, thank you. I mean, in some respects, it doesn't even feel like a book. It's more like a movie. This is a bit like James Bond and Harrison Ford and a whole lot of adventurers wrapped into
Who's
one.
James Bond between the two of you?
No, it's all him. So, I mean, on page by page, you'll find Rian being chased by crocodiles, strangled by snakes, jumping off buildings, you know, everything that a proper James Bond would do. But this is the point. It's true. This is a true story. There are 120 pages here which document an actual adventure by a real South African who happens to be right here. And you can see the scars on his body, on his face, and in his heart are the consequence of being that real, authentic person. So that's the best part. This is a true story.
This is like, man, like your memoirs. Like, this is the life of, all like encapsulated. I think the last step after this is going to potentially be a movie, right? Yeah, you never know.
It's a children's book to a movie. That's a good idea.
Listen, there's something more unique about this, and I know there's so much that I'm dying to ask you, but I want to get into the nitty-gritties of this, because I see there's this unique QR code option that you can sort of interact with and engage with the book. What is going on there? How does that work, man?
We just wanted to make the book engaging. You know, when parents are lying there, we know it's an effort. Parents are sitting there and they're saying, you know, I know I should be reading to my child. Every parent will tell you that they need to, but we want to make it engaging. We want the kid to be bringing the parent to that bedtime story reading. So we inserted QR codes.
Yeah.
You put the QR code.
So can I try this on my phone now? Let's put this to the test, eh?
So, okay, so this is chapter 34.
Okay, chapter 34. I've got my phone out here. I don't know if you can actually see this or not, Mzansi. Let me just see if I can actually unlock my phone first.
And then, so what you would actually see...
There we go. Okay, go to my camera. I think this is coming on the screen as well. So, QR code, scan, show options, open up in browser.
Then look at cool videos.
And... let's see what comes up. Ah, okay. Epic videos.
Epic videos.
You know, Benin, awesome photos. Let's just allow that. Chapter 9, audiobooks. Hey,
audiobook.
This is pretty cool. So this is literally what I've just done right now while engaging with a book. Just quickly go to a QR code, and it extrapolates even more information, right?
Raul, every single chapter, and the beauty about this is that if you're feeling lazy as a parent, you can play the audiobook to the kid at night. So, and read by Murray as well. So. Very entertaining, and we want to make it a little bit more than just one-dimensional.
I gotta ask, man. I mean, this is pretty cool. This is like 20 years of your life encapsulated into this book, and now it's like not only just your memories, but it's almost something that's going to inspire kids. What is that feeling like? That's pretty big, right?
Every time, this whole book tour, you know, we've been going around the country, and I get that question a lot, and it reminds me of the day meeting with Mr. Mandela when he said, what you've done is going to inspire the youth of the continent. I honestly, to a very select group of people, told them, when I walked away there, I said, I don't think Mr. Mandela knows what he's talking about. And, you know, how can I, Rian Mansa, inspire the youth of the continent? The greatest enthusiasm that I've ever unlocked in an audience is with children. Gee whiz, because you take this book, so It is. When you say it, we could all just nod and say, oh, it's going to inspire people and kids.
Yeah.
But the truth is that it is. And that is just, I don't want to be cliched and say it's humbling, but it's a pretty cool feeling.
Oh, I can imagine, man. I think for everybody that's ever wanted a chance to sit down with you at a campfire, here's almost an alternative version because they can get some of those campfire stories. But on top of that, man, it's not just kids you're inspiring. The options and the moments that I've listened to you in some of these interviews as well, I've been inspired. I'm someone that loves the outdoors, but you invoke this passion for more. And I love that about you, and I love that about what both of you are doing right now. So we're going to continue with this conversation, Mzansi. Don't go anywhere. We're going to dive into this book and more about these gents. There's a competition happening as well. So let me talk to you about that before I go. So you're also going to stand a chance to win one of 2 copies of the book, My First African Adventure. And all you need to do is answer the following question. Now, which African country would you like to explore? And of course, tell us why. Now, enter by answering the competition form on our Facebook or Twitter pages, and you could win. And don't forget, the competition closes at midday today. That's the 7th of June, and your T's and C's apply and can be found on expressoshow.com. Without further ado, let's carry on with the magic. I will obviously be chatting to you guys again in these gents because I want to hear more and more and more about these adventures. So, of course, Mzansi, don't go anywhere. The magic shall continue. Let us catch up with the rest of the team right now.
I love that. I love that. So inspiring, man. That is so, so beautiful. But, you know, the thing is, as adults, with the weight of the world on our minds and on our shoulders, we often reckon, the kids are all right, you know, and we think, what we wouldn't give to be in their shoes for a day, right?
But from first bell to the last, they get through a mountain of effort and concentration. So one brave mom, Millicent, went back to school to see for herself. Let's check it out. It took a brave mom in Millicent Zagwazata to literally put herself in a Sansipo shoes for a day, don the uniform and join him from class to class and on through sport to see if she could keep pace. Millicent, it's go time!
It feels great to be back in school. I'm excited, looking forward to it. I haven't done it in like a long time. My biggest challenge will be mathematics. I haven't done maths in like ages, I think, but I did prepare our way through the tables, so I'm kind of in the right direction with multiplication.
I think it's exciting to have her with me and to make her see that everything I do isn't just like me being lazy, but it's also because I'm tired, and when I get home I have to sleep because I'm tired and everything. So yeah.
Why is it 9 times 9? What's the base?
9.
And what's the exponent?
2.
What does the exponent tell us?
That you multiply 9 times 9.
I think Melissa did very well. She was cooperative, she engaged in the lesson. It was out of the norm for her, but she got into it and she got going. Even when questions were difficult, she gave it her best.
Maths was a downfall, and PE will also be a downfall with the running. And our coach did say we're doing suicides, so...
This side, open with your one-liner and see how the conversation goes.
When I count to 3, I want you to jump off the tree.
No.
Why?
I refuse.
Okay, I want you to laugh.
No.
Okay, you must cry then.
Why are you telling me to cry?
Because I want you to.
Bully.
She really did try. You can see she's a bit nervous being in the class and being in front of so many kids acting. Acting is not easy. It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking to be in front of kids.
My favorite so far was the acting that we did in the arts class. Like, I didn't know I could act until today. They're supposed to give you homework.
No.
Are they not supposed to give you homework?
It's not like, you see, Google. You see, Google and homework, they're friends. So if you think about it, they just take Google to do their homework, and it's the whole thing. It's exciting to see her doing the things that I also do. I feel like she's gonna always be tired, like with everything I do, because she's normally like just sitting and working on a laptop every day, so.
I don't know whether I'm coming or going, but I feel a little bit of exhausted already. I mean, walking up and down the steps, it's not child's play. Especially that I haven't done this in a while.
Definitely
the kids do use a lot of energy during the school day. As a teacher, you also get quite tired, so it's also quite taxing on the kids because I know I'm not moving around, I'm staying in one place. So for the kids to be moving around, it is quite a bit of energy that they are going to be using.
I stay energized by eating my breakfast and having a good meal. And for lunch, I always have it on time and always get the right food in my body.
I experienced energy dip. I didn't eat breakfast, number one. I skipped my breakfast because we were running late. But at first break, when we had our fruits, meals, I think it kind of got me back in the game.
I love school very much because it gives me an education and I learn new things every day. And I also have friends at school that keep me entertained all day.
I love school because it brings knowledge, and at the end of the day I really want to make my family proud, and every day I see my classmates, which is very nice, and they're very energizing.
I think she's actually done quite well. She's kept up with the class and she's done her work very nicely, so I'm quite proud she's actually fitted in quite well.
It was nice. It was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Just be with him from 6:30 until now. It's been amazing. If I were to do it again, trust me, I would.
I think she did good. There wasn't any bad things that happened. She didn't make any mistakes. But if it did happen, I feel like the teachers would go even harder on her because now she's used to it.
I'm finished. This is not me.
This is the point.
I do respect the kids after this experience. Every time they get home and you'll be like, do this, and they're like, oh, Mom, I'm tired. Now I got to understand that they are really tired. When they say they're tired, they're tired.
She can now see what her child goes through on a daily basis and how much work and effort and how alert he has to be 24/7 in class.
It was hectic. The exercise was hectic, but the scoring, I scored quite a few goals there. So I still have it in me. I'm not that old. I will definitely change his meals and the lunch box that he packs. It's going to be a lot of liquids, fruits, and maybe just a little bit of bread. I'm not big on bread anyway, so yeah, definitely that will change.
Her to be here every day, but a few times in 1 year is okay for me.
But I want to be here every day. No?
I see you every day at home.
To keep that spring in the step of our kids when their energies flag, how could there be a tastier, simpler answer than a glass of Nestle Milo each day? As for me, why stop at one glass?
That was so cute.
No, looking at that, I'm exhausted. Wow, all that energy that Millicent needed to keep up with those kids. Woo, girl, rather you than me.
Millicent made friends there, new friends that she hangs out with now.
She's a cool mom now. She's definitely got herself some points there with the kiddies.
Look, if there's one thing that we've learned from this experience is that let's not underestimate the amount of energy that the kids do actually need to get through their day. It's a lot.
Absolutely. They really should start the day with a good breakfast and a mug of Milo so they're ready when it's go time.
It's go time with a cup of Nestle Milo at breakfast. Give your kids the energy to go further.
Milo! Milo!
Your generosity can ignite a love for reading amongst our youth. Share your homegrown story. See Cadbury Story Edition packs. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Open up to attention to detail on the Insider essay this Saturday at 1 on S3 as Miss South Africa Lalela Mswane ticks all the boxes to win Miss Supernatural. With nothing but pencil and paper, John O'Dry turns social media into art. From just an idea to OMG, watch Sir Abner's full design process. And with a beach house on a mountain, you get 2 holidays in one. That's the Insider essay this Saturday at 1 on S3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, welcome back. Mzansi, your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we're choosing everything that is health, everything that's wildness, and everything that's adventure to it. Speaking of adventure, we're still standing by with adventure. Rian Mansa, and he's still with us this morning to discuss the release of his new children's book, My First African Adventure. Now, he, along with local journalist Murray Williams, have traveled all over the continent and the world, experiencing different cultures as well as the ways of life. Now, they've chatted to us a bit earlier about the book itself and are joining us again to talk about mental health aspects of their travel as well as adventures. And they brought along a buddy with them. I see James is joining us on the couch. How are you doing, James? James is just full of energy. I can clearly see that he's adventure. James, come over here. Don't worry. Don't worry about all these crazy cameras. Sense of adventure, the wild spirit in this one is almost half animal, half kid, eh?
It could go either way. Well, listen, Lucian is definitely a brave guy for
putting him up on the couch.
But it's awesome. It's, you know, we're appealing to kids, and James is a kid.
Hey, James, can I ask you a question? Have you read the book? Do you like it? I think is that a yes? Do you like the book? Is that a yes? Yes? Yes. I don't know if he's going to kill me. I don't know what's happening here, but I think that's a yes. I definitely think he's also hyped up about it. Murray, maybe I can ask this question. I just want to touch on the book one more time. You've got 3 kids, right? You're someone that travels a lot. You're someone that's experienced a lot. When it comes to the accounts of this book, it seems to be very factual. Something that you can read out to your kids as well? Or is it something that they can just grab and just get engaged with on their own?
Yeah, thank you, man. Look, this is not a book that you read once. The whole intention behind this book is for us to create something that places itself in the middle of the family that can be dipped into morning, noon, and night. You can go to a particular country and test yourself, quiz yourself on the facts. And James has a favorite story. What he was talking about earlier on page 54 was a pic of a bum. Whoop, you saw it. Anyway, this is a real story. Yeah. And we don't hide away from anything. Rian's adventure was real, and it was scary. One man on a bicycle circumnavigating Africa over 2.5 years, and he went through a ton of emotions personally. And this book opens those conversations between a father and a son, between a father and a daughter, etc. So this is like a golden asset in the middle of a family to open our conversations about this beautiful continent we share.
Yeah, and with that being said, I mean, you being a journalist on your travel, sometimes you get experiences that are quite intense as well. Now, your perspective on travel, your perspective on cultures, obviously maybe certainly different to what other people might experience, but at the same time, travel has been known to give you that sense of growth, to give you that sense of awareness. What's that like for you? And is it something that you'd still encourage within others to travel, especially during this period that we're in right now, right?
Absolutely. I don't know if you've ever climbed inside a Land Rover Defender before.
Yeah, it's like that rugged man vehicle.
The moment you close the door, you know that something's up. There's a sense of adventure coming. Yeah. I think post-pandemic, if you look at the mountains, you look at the beaches, look at mountain biking courses, so many people are just getting out there. It's now or never. People are reclaiming their health and their fitness like you spoke about. Yeah. And so, well, it's Father's Day in a week and a half's time. And so, once again, this is not about the bike. This is about relationships, and it's about us exploring together. Because those memories that we're forging now will be with this guy forever. Yeah. A happy childhood really lasts a lifetime. And so that's what we've created here with a woman's touch, Chantal Tarling, our co-author. It's something we're really, really proud of.
I love that. And I mean, speaking of those memories, and Rian, we were speaking about this as well, the fact that the book also has this sense of trying to encourage others, because not all parents are adventurers, right? Absolutely. Not all parents are going out there camping and experiencing all these crazy things. Have you experienced maybe on your adventure reading out the book or sharing it with some kids? Do they get that sense of adventure when they start engaging with it? Do they get inspired to say, Dad, I want to go here, take me here?
No, it's incredible. It's incredible. If I sit with James and I show him...
James like, I don't want this mic.
So when I show James some of these pictures, it's just amazing. So he's heard these stories before. I mean, they've told him at school.
I don't want this one.
Okay, tell people what is in this picture, James. Tell me what happened over here.
eating a little bit like that.
And so we were also for book launches. That wasn't very well explained, but I guess it was just very succinct.
I was just looking at his face, though, when he looks at the book as well. His eyes light up. He's like, you can see he's engaged in this, so he knows something about it.
So we did some reading at the exclusive books in Constantia, and it was incredible to have the parents come up to me afterwards and say, thanks for letting my child's imagination go. And I was just thinking, come on, I was just literally sharing real stories.
Yeah.
But the real thank you must go to those parents. Those parents are making an effort to get their children outdoors and experiencing the world. And, I mean, that's applause to them. You know, the book is doing very, very well. It's selling. So that means this is sitting in those beds at night with the parents connecting with their kids.
I love that. That's awesome, man. I love the fact that this book also, like I said, inspires. I love the fact that it's also a real account of your journey, and the fact that you guys got together, being people and being parents and being understanding of what it takes to get them out there to create that adventure. Well done, gents. And I think this is going to be something that's going to be on many a coffee table, many a kid's bedtime story table. So if you haven't gotten one now, Mzansi, then this is your opportunity to get one. Don't forget, we've got that competition happening. And if you don't win the competition, don't stress. You can get these books online. They're available in many bookstores. Or you can reach out to Rian or Mari online as well and chat to them about some of their incredible stories. Rian, you're also going to be on Inside Essay, right? I believe, yes?
I believe so, yeah.
Maybe,
man, I took those matrics to Mauritius.
Oh,
Looking
nice,
forward to that. Fun stuff we did.
Monday, 6 p.m. Let's look forward to that one as well. But, gents, seriously, thank you for inspiring, for getting us out there, for allowing us to grow, especially in a time now, like you were talking about, Mari, where the pandemic is slightly coming to a point where it's allowing us a little bit more freedom, which allows us to adventure. And with that comes growth and so many incredible memories. So, gents, until the next one, thank you so much for doing this. And, yeah.
Let's go ride together soon.
Yes, deal. I'm taking you up on that. All right, gents. Have a beautiful night. Mzansi, of course, that was the magic when it comes to traveling our continent and all the beauty of it. And you want to get inspired to inspire your kids, then of course get this book and read some of these beautiful stories for them. From us and from the adventure side of this table, let's carry on with the magic of the show and catch up with the rest of the team.
Well, we are back with saxophonist August van der Westhuizen and one of Cape Town's finest musicians, and he's joining us now to perform Run to You by Whitney Houston. Take it away.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And of course, with it being Health Tuesdays, we want to bring you something vitally important that I know you are going to love. Now, you want to take control of your life, your weight, and transform your mind? Then the 21-day Health Reboot program is definitely for you. Now, listen to this. This program serves as a platform to guide, mentor, and assist in positive lifestyle changes. And this is being done by taking an holistic approach to reset the lifestyle choices of all South Africans. So today we have Nuts About Cooking brand ambassador Claudia van Skalkwyk here to show us just how easy it can be to incorporate a little bit of self-love into your routine. Claudia, how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, I'm well, and you?
I'm fantastic. You're looking bright, fresh, and full of energy this morning, and I'm hoping that's what can be replicated from this 21-day challenge, right?
Of course.
Maybe you can talk to me about it. What exactly can one expect from the challenge? 21 days. I'd imagine it's quite. It's not just about diet. It's an amalgamation of a few things, right?
It's you know what? It takes you on a detoxification journey.
Okay.
Where it's an holistic approach to that, which means the first phase is where we renew the mind through motivation and through mentorship, where I will be with you from day 1 to day 21 to encourage you, to motivate you, to keep you pressing forward.
Keep us accountable.
Keep you accountable, keep you committed and consistent, because we know it's not easy living a lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle.
Especially in this day and age where we're juggling so much. But, I mean, we'll talk about that now because, yes, there's a juggle. We've got to obviously get this physical part of the training done. We've got to focus on the diet. There's so much involved in it. Let's talk about the physical now, because obviously this program, I'm hoping, involves a little bit of physical training. Is it something that I can use to maybe get my physical body in shape too? Yes?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, nice.
What it does, this program really lays a foundation, or a strong foundation for your fitness journey going forward.
Okay.
Making sure, and the videos on the program is really focused on having intense workouts, but in a short period of time.
Nice.
You know, and also focusing on great posture and developing that mind and muscle connection. That once we don't have that, you know, we're not really connected with our bodies when we do exercise. So it's so important that we get connected with what muscle group are we actually building.
Okay, maybe we can do an example of that. Let's try and maybe just show Mzansi what we're talking about. Maybe you can help us connect with some of the muscles right now in a form of movement, which is always key, I'm imagining, right?
Yes, I love movement. So you can go onto your all fours.
Okay.
So it's my favorite. So let's go to the end of the mat.
All right.
Everyone that knows me is my favorite.
I'm nervous because I don't know what to expect here. I'm like, okay, end of the mat.
It's called a bear crawl.
Ah, okay, got you.
Right, you're going to place your wrist underneath your shoulder. Make sure that your knee is underneath your hip.
Okay,
and that your knee are hip width apart.
Got
right.
you.
And then you're going to curl your toes under for me.
Okay, toes are curled under.
Now, make sure that you tuck your tailbone.
Tuck my tailbone in.
See, this is the focus point, tucking the tailbone.
And it's almost like the core suddenly engaged by doing that, right?
It's imagining that something is pulling you from behind.
Yeah, like the navel's going close towards that spine.
That's my
feeling engaged. I'm ready.
Are you ready? Right. And as you tuck that tailbone, you raise your knees off the floor slightly.
Oh, just levitate. Why don't we? Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay, whoa.
So
now I'm feeling the core coming to play here just to get me in this position. Yeah.
And now you're going to move forward by be very careful not to swing those legs. Keep them still. Great. Can you feel? This is a full body workout.
The body's just wanting to shake all over the show right now as I'm trying to control this, and it almost seems like the slower I try to do this, the harder it becomes, eh?
The slower, the better. And now we're going to reverse this.
Okay.
Right? So you're going to take a step back, and your hand is going to follow. As you go back, your hand follows. Keep that core tucked, keep the bum low. Let's go.
Oh, this is a lot harder than you could think. I must be honest.
Almost there.
Nice.
Well done.
That is quality, right? And I love that quality over quantity. But when it comes to quantity, how often and how much should one exercise? I mean, looking at the lifestyle that we're juggling, some of us are parents, maybe some people are managing so much. Is exercise still vital within that crazy system? How important is it really?
You know, apart from the long-term benefits of exercise, like building a good, strong health, heart, and mental fortitude and longevity, I believe that we are created to move. And I think we have lost the joy in movement. We really need to come back to enjoy exercise. And it doesn't have to be long. It takes as little as 20 minutes a day to start moving the body.
It's not much, actually, if you think about it.
No, it's not. And you know what? If you don't know where to start, the body is so incredible. You can start at any point, and if you put pressure on the body will adapt. It's just you have to take the first step to making a change, and the change will happen.
I love that. And obviously the opportunity to take that first step is in that 21-day program. And of course, you are going to be guiding, mentoring, and then making sure that everybody stays accountable at the same time and enjoys movement, which I absolutely love about that. Something I did right now is enjoy moving. And if you want some more of these incredible exercises, as well as the rest of this program, then Mzansi, you definitely want to sign up with this one. It's that 21-day program that you're going to absolutely love and enjoy. And if you want to find out more about it, then you can find it online. And of course, you can head over to Chantal's programs as well. And it's nutsaboutcooking.co.za. You can find it all there. And I've got to say, thank you so much for that. I look forward to all the lives, all the mindsets that you're going to change and inspire. And at the same time, I hope beyond the 21 days that you've made permanent change. And of course, just inspire the rest of Mzansi. You've been incredible this morning. Thank you so much. Mzansi, I hope you enjoyed that. And what are you waiting for? Go sign up. 21 days. Change your life.
Okay, let me tell you something about Christmas. Okay, open up to this. The Christmas spirit is a time for kindness, for time for joy. And with Golden Cloud and Beacon, Christmas comes early on Expresso as we search for Mzansi's best friend baking duo. We love that. From go-go's to grandkids, no matter your age, this is your chance to grab your best friend, okay? And stand the chance to win. Win big. Win a 50,000 Rand grand prize in the Golden Baker Search Christmas in July edition. It's exciting. Now, this pumpkin spiced cupcake recipe, ooh, yes, sounds so good. Perfect for today as well. Might just be the motivation that you are looking for while you think of which best friend you're going to be bringing along to win with you. And my best friend in the kitchen is here with me to show us how to do this.
Yes, isn't this a lovely recipe? It includes all the elements that we love. Pumpkin, vanilla, cupcakes, chocolate. I mean,
coming through. What's missing?
What do we have?
Nothing.
I mean, nothing really.
Let's go.
Okay, so you're going to prepare the puree for me.
Okay,
so
cool.
You could just do that by adding some pumpkin, which we've already roasted.
Okay.
And some water, and we're going to mix it up together until we have a smooth consistency.
So why did we choose to roast this pumpkin as opposed to other ways of making pumpkin?
It's just better to get all the liquid, so your pumpkin is a bit nice and caramelized in a way.
I suppose also that there's a difference in the sort of flavor profile, that like sort of roastedness is going to be coming through, ne?
Yes. Okay, in the meanwhile, I'm using some of our Golden Cloud flour. We're using the vanilla bake mix today. And with that, we're going to add some of our cinnamon, some ginger, as well as some allspice. And so we want to just whisk together
all the good
dry ingredients.
Oh, yep.
Right.
Okay, so while you're doing that, let's get this going.
Okay.
Flip. Now, listen, I want you to know this. I want you to know this. It's very important information that the Golden Cloud cake, it really does make it easy for anyone to bake. Anyone, honestly. The cake mix includes an icing pack, and with, you know, the addition of a few ingredients, your cake or cupcakes really will be ready in about 40 minutes. It's that convenience factor that I'm always talking about. Now, Heavenly Slabs have been brought back into the mix. They've been brought back into the market due to popular demand. You know when they say, I'm back by popular demand. That's what they're saying. And each variant has a decadent soft center with all of your favorite winter flavors. So you're going to love playing with that and really finding ways to integrate that into your bakes. And the perfect treat for that instant, you know, indulgence that we all do want, we crave every now and again. Look no further this winter. Now, your chance to enter that Golden Baker Search Christmas in July edition and stand the chance to win one of 2 hampers weekly. They're valued at 500 Rand. Go and do it. How are we doing over there?
Okay, so we have already mixed up our wet ingredients. If you could just please pass me the water as well as the puree.
There you go.
So we're going to combine some eggs, some oil, which we've whisked together, some of our water, and then, of course, the puree.
The puree. What is the consistency of the puree that you are sort of aiming for here? Do you want it like how I've done it here? Because this is my way, eh? How I always make puree.
Pass me the spoon.
Or would you want it more sort of
Yeah, so this is actually fine. It's fine. It doesn't have to be any more wet than this.
Okay.
It's perfect just the way it is. You don't want it to be too wet. Of course, we're going to be mixing it with all the other wet ingredients. So in the end, it doesn't really matter what type of consistency. You just want it to be creamy still.
Okay. The creamy factor is what we're looking for here.
Yes.
So whisk and mix all of that together. This is why you need a best friend to help you out with this. I even feel like I'm just standing there watching you do all of the work. So, but also, I do like the fact that even if you didn't have a best friend to make this with, this is such an easy recipe. And if you want it, go on to expressoshow.com. We've loaded it there, as well as all the ingredients you're going to need. You will find you will need very few ingredients, which you really are going to love. Now, remember, Christmas comes early on Expresso as Golden Cloud and Beacon search for South Africa's best friends baking duo. You know, those go-go's, those grandkids, no matter your age, grab your best friend and stand the chance to win that big ultimate prize that's worth 50,000 Rand in the Ultimate Christmas Bake Off. Now, to enter the challenge, create your bake with Golden Cloud and Beacon. Share your photo of the bake on the Golden Baker Search Christmas in July edition competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages. Don't forget to use that all-important hashtag Golden Baker Search. Tell us why you and your bestie are the best baking duo and why you think that your creation is the best. And what will happen then is you could find yourself being one of the 5 finalists competing live on Expresso for that grand prize worth 50,000 Rands. Thank you so much. And the winning duo will be crowned live on Expresso this July. I'm so excited about that. And it's brought to you by Golden Cloud and Beacon. The entries will close on the 17th of July, and the T's and C's and more details go on to expressoshow.com. You will find them there. So now in goes the chocolata.
Right. That's lovely. Can I enter the competition? Can I?
Only if you're entering with me. Only if you're entering with me. So what happens then is we take that into the oven about 40 minutes, and you must keep an eye on it, and it's ready. Voila. Next thing is you're just now piping and icing it nicely, getting your bestie to help you with that, and adding some decorative elements to it. Maybe this is not the bestie you want helping you with it, but you can have fun with it and really go to town with it. Go into expressoshow.com if you want the recipe. It's on there. Stuns. Join Expresso this autumn for a chance to win one of 6 Plascon vouchers, each to the value of 5,000 Rand. With nature's own forests, fields and beaches inspiring Plascon's new color combinations, tell us how you would color your life. Answer our weekly social media question and find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. So, color your life with 5,000 Rand Plascon paint vouchers to be won this autumn on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody, to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. 2 hours done and dusted. We still have another hour. Mr. August West is here to perform 2 performances for you. Before we crash that final hour, it's time to have a final look at this news headlines with Uncle Tabsy.
Okay, that looks yummy, Jamie Lee Domberg. A final look at your news headlines, starting off here with our national headlines. President Cyril Ramaphosa says that the government is working hard to improve food security in the country and is focusing seriously on the agricultural sector. Ramaphosa said this in his weekly letter that it involved making state-owned land available for production and providing aid and equipment to small-scale and commercial farmers. He says the Competition Commission will also monitor any discrepancies in the food chain, such as food prices being increased unfairly. Ramaphosa says the government is doing everything in its power to protect people from current and future price increases. Staying with South African news, people aged 50 and older are now eligible for an additional booster shot of the Pfizer COVID-19 jab. The health department said the booster shot has been available as from yesterday to people in the age group that had completed at least 4 months since receiving their last vaccination of either the Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer. Prior to this announcement, South Africans could receive 1 booster shot after the initial jab of the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson or double-dose Pfizer vaccines. International news headlines. Tanzania's government is reversing its controversial decision to lift a ban on wildlife exports. The order to roll back on the embargo was only announced 2 days ago and had been heavily criticized by activists. The law was introduced in 2016 to help prevent protected animals being smuggled out of the country by poachers. But Tanzania's Minister of Tourism and Natural Resources, Pindikana, said the ban would be reinstated until a further decision had been made. Tanzania is known for its wildlife safaris that draw large numbers of tourists. And now over to South Korea. South Korea and United States, they fired 8 surface-to-surface missiles early yesterday off South Korea's east coast, responding to a situation of short-range ballistic missiles launched by North Korea on Sunday. South Korea said the action was a demonstration of the capability and readiness to carry out precision strikes. Again, the source of North Korea's missile launches or their command and support centers. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol said yesterday that North Korea's missile and the nuclear weapons programs had reached a level at which they posed a threat to regional and world peace. Meanwhile, Max Kulati, a physically challenged bodybuilder from the Kariga in the Eastern Cape, was crowned world champion on Saturday evening in Koper, Slovenia, where he represented his country at the 2022 International Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation World Championships, otherwise known as the IBFF. His months of preparation, sweat, and extensive training had paid off handsomely, and Kulati had an unfortunate surgery procedure during 2014, which left him partially paralyzed. He realized that he needed to transform his negative thoughts and to find pride in himself again, and he started with powerlifting in 2019. Kulati soon became a South African powerlifting champion, but bade the sport farewell and started with bodybuilding. At his very first ever bodybuilding competition, he was crowned SA champion and qualified for the IBFF World Championships in Slovenia. Now, Kulati says Mongezi Mata, who keeps track of his physical nature, his physique, said that he was super proud of what he had achieved through hard work and dedication. Now, Mata, incidentally, is a former IBFF champion himself, professional bodybuilder and mentor for many young athletes in this sport. And very well done to the both of them. You've truly made South Africa proud. And on that note, let's see what's happening in some other sporting news. Here is Raul de Monet.
Thank you so much, Uncle Tabzi. For our last look at the sport this morning, it's time to dive into all the action. And starting off with the ladies' Protea action, Laura Goodall notched up her maiden T20 half-century as the Proteas women bounced back in Monday's second T20 against Ireland. Now, the Proteas won by 8 wickets to level the 3-match T20 series 1-1 before the series decided, taking place on Wednesday. Now, chasing 107 runs to win, South Africa lost opener Tasneem Brits relatively early for 15 as she was bowled by Arlene Kelly. Now, Goodall shared a 72-run second wicket stand alongside Anika Bosch as they comfortably closed in on the Irish total. Now, all-rounder Nadine de Klerk and pacer Tumi Sekokune were the pick of the South African bowlers as they both took 2 wickets apiece. Now, sticking to cricket action, heading over to New Zealand, though, where New Zealand all-rounder Colin de Grandhomme will miss the rest of their Test series against England due to a heel injury that he sustained in the opening match. Now, de Grandhomme bowled only 3.5 overs in England's second innings due to the heel issue, and this before New Zealand crashed to a 5-wicket loss at Lord's on Sunday to go 1-0 down in the 3-match series. Now, New Zealand said scans revealed a tear to de Grandhomme's plantar fascia, with coach Gary Steed confirming that the 35-year-old would need 10 to 12 weeks in order to recover. Now, de Grandhomme will be replaced by fellow all-rounder Michael Bracewell, who was with the squad for the opening test as cover for Henry Nicholls. Well, from our cricket action now, we head over to rugby news, and the Bulls have named a strong 28-man squad, which included a return for Springbok 7-star Kurt Lee Arendse as they left for Ireland for the United Rugby Championship semi-final against Leinster. Now, Arendse was injured and didn't pass a fitness test ahead of the game against the Sharks, but this weekend was the return to the side for the trip, where they will try and unseat the tournament favourites on Friday night. Now, apart from the team that took the field on Saturday and won the game against the Sharks after full-time, Arendse has been included alongside props in Piwe Matanzima, loose forward WJ Steenkamp, halfback Bernard van der Linde, as well as utility back Marco Jansen van Vieren. A definitely stacked side indeed, and wish him nothing but the best of luck for that encounter this weekend. Now, sticking to our sporting action, and lastly in golf news, Phil Mickelson confirmed on Monday he has signed up to play in the lucrative Saudi-backed Live Golf Invitational Series. Now, the 6-time major winner will be in the field of 48 at the controversial new Tour's inaugural event taking place in London this week. Now, Mickelson has not played since the publication of comments in February in which he criticized the PGA Tour and the Saudi backers of Live Golf. Now, the 51-year-old had sought a release from the PGA Tour, now this in order to play in the first event of the Greg Norman-led series. However, the PGA Tour has said playmakers taking part in the event could face sanctions. Now, Mickelson lost multiple sponsors and saw his reputation tarnished after he criticized the Saudi regime, yet sought to use involvement with the Saudi Arabia-backed Golf Super League to gain leverage over the PGA Tour. Well, look, that's all that we have now when it comes to the sporting news. Of course, there is so much more action coming up on the show, and standing by right now with the weather is Jamie Lee Domvik.
Thank you so much, Mr. De Mornay. On the international environmental news, total greenhouse gas emissions in the European Union reached their lowest level since 1990, according to official EU data reported by the European Environment Agency to the UN. The overall reduction in 2020 greenhouse gas emissions was 34% compared to the 1990 base year. Prior to the pandemic, the EU had already reduced its emissions by 26% in 2019 and had achieved its 20% target before the lockdown started to impact emission levels. Key drivers that led to emission reductions over the past 3 decades include the growing using of renewables, the use of less carbon-intensive fossil fuels, as well as improvements in energy efficiency. Also, winters in Europe have become warmer. Almost all EU member states reduced emissions compared to 1990 and contributed to the overall positive EU performance. Now, Germany and the UK accounted for 47% of the total net reductions over the past 30 years. Then from environmental news to sunrise views back on our own shores, we had Ntokozo Makatini from Johannesburg who captured this peaceful shot of the clear morning sky with a bright orange hue. We also had Reno Vasson from East London who captured this breathtaking shot of the sun coming up. Just take a look at those fantastic colors. Then at 7 a.m, Tina from Sea Point captured this beautiful shot of the bold sunrise as she overlooks the ocean. And last but definitely not least, Kyle Leroux from Amanzimtoti did the same as Tina and shared this gorgeous orange-hued photo overlooking the fresh waves. Remember to keep those pictures coming through. We'd love to see how you start your day on that WhatsApp line at 063-408-6683. That being said, here's a final look at those temperatures for you, Polokwane. It is a low of 4 that will peak at 22. Umabela can be seen with a range of 9 to 24 24 as well. Pretoria for you, your minimum is 8 with a maximum of 23, and Johannesburg's sunshine is expected on this Tuesday. That will range from 6 to 20. Mahikeng for you, 5, 22. Klerksdorp can be seen with a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 21, as well as for you, Kimberley, your range is 4, 20. Bloemfontein, -1, that will peak at 21. Richards Bay can be seen with a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 26, as well as for you, Pietermaritzburg coming through with a low of 8 and a high of 25. If you do find yourself in South Africa's playground today, Durban, your range is 15 to 25. Mthatha for you, it is 6.25, as well as East London can be seen with a minimum of 12 and a maximum of 25 as well. Craddock for you, 3.22. Gqeberha for you, 11.24. And then for you, George, sunshine also coming your way on this Tuesday. That will start off with 14 and will peak at 25. The mother city, Cape Town, do expect a range of 14 to 26 today. Worcester can be seen with a low of 12 and a high of 28, as well as Sutherland for you, 6.19. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington ranging from 6 to 24. Well, that is where I leave your weather update here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's time now for some music.
Oh yes, Jamie Lee Dunberg, please say less. It's June, but August is in the house, okay? August Thunder Westhuizen is in the house here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show to give us an elevation of that feel-good vibe. Here he is this time around with Shaka Khan's Through the Fire. This one's dedicated to Ryle and I for our breakfast.
Being a parent can be challenging, but stepping out is when things get real complicated. That's why new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5 ml sachets are here to make the job easier. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere. Panado, a dose of care.
One in two healthy South African women suffer from iron deficiency. Speak to your healthcare professional about getting tested and treated for iron deficiency. Brought to you by FerryMed.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We are talking all things health, and when we think of our health, we think of not smoking, applying sunscreen daily, and eating our leafy greens. But new research has shown that how healthy we look and feel can all be determined by the health of our gut. Now, doctors and scientists are starting to alarm that the health of our gut is one of the most important things when we look at our overall health and our bodies. Now, to cover and discuss this in more detail, we have pharmacist Jackie Mayman, as well as Piwo Mabunu, marketing manager at Ascendus Pharma. They are joining us in studio this morning as we make sure we all have healthy guts. Ladies, it's so great to have you here. I'm really enjoying these conversations because as we go along, I learn a little bit more about the importance of gut health. And Jackie, I'm going to start off with you. What are some of the symptoms or the signs that, hang on, my gut is not healthy? I need to look out and actually make some changes to my life.
Absolutely. So, you know, it's very interesting because you tend to think of your gut. Now, an obvious one when your gut's not healthy is that it doesn't feel right. So you can have indigestion, you can have heartburn, stomach cramps, pain, bloating. We all know those. What a lot of people don't realize is that your gut can actually affect you literally from the top of your head almost to the end of your toes. And that is, it can affect your mood, your sleep. So if you're suffering from insomnia, it can affect the way you feel. Most of your serotonin, which is your feel-good hormone, is actually manufactured in your gut. So you really can feel down if your gut is not working properly. If you've got an inflamed bowel and you've got leaky gut, it can affect your skin. So you can have eczema, you can have flare-ups of psoriasis. So it's actually quite amazing. I mean, literally, as I say, from your brain, your heart, your skin, everywhere. Gut health is so important.
It is important, and I feel like we don't pay enough attention to it because, I mean, if you think about it, we always tell someone, trust your gut. And you need to look after your gut in order to be able to trust it. Now, Jackie, how can we improve our gut health to ensure that we also improve our own life? Because just mentioning the insomnia, I know a lot of people that are struggling to fall asleep and they are not living a healthy lifestyle.
Okay. So, you know, to improve your gut health, you need to listen to your body. So if you are having indigestion, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, you need to listen to that and see which foods are actually setting it off, because very often an unhealthy gut can have digestive problems. So you're not digesting certain food groups properly. And I would really recommend going and seeing your doctor, your dietitian, go and speak to your pharmacist and find out what you can do to try and improve that. Because as we said, your well-being can really depend on your gut.
And our gut is very important. And Piwo, this is where you come in because you have this amazing product called Uni-Enzyme. Tell us exactly how Uni-Enzyme helps us with, you know, looking after our digestive issues like indigestion, heartburn, even abdominal discomfort.
So Uni-Enzyme was specifically created with all of those points that you mentioned in mind. And essentially, it's a product that's meant to help you in terms of your daily gut health. In terms of managing those symptoms of indigestion, bloating, bulging, and also even your stomach discomfort and even that feeling of fullness, which one will often experience after an overindulgent night out or that Sunday lunch. And we know that's very common in South Africa. So with that in mind, Uni-Enzyme was then formulated with 5 unique ingredients that are natural and essentially help in terms of managing all of those symptoms.
Can you talk me through them or are they a secret?
Oh no, of course I can share that with you. That's why I'm here. So essentially, Uni-Enzyme comprises of 2 digestive enzymes inside it, specifically your papain, which essentially is a proteolytic enzyme that helps to break down your proteins into smaller fragments for better digestion. And then that works synergistically with a second digestive enzyme inside it, which is your alpha amylase. And that enzyme specifically focuses on your starches, carbohydrates, and actually exists naturally within your body. The third ingredient that we have is your simethicone. And simethicone essentially works as an anti-flatulent, and that essentially helps with that discomfort that you feel in terms of your gastrointestinal gas, hence that bloating and bulging that one will often experience. And then the fourth ingredient that we have inside it is your nicotinamide, which is essentially your vitamin B3. And what that does is it actually helps your body metabolize your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And then the last ingredient that we have in there is your activated charcoal. And essentially what activated charcoal does is that it helps trap your toxins in the gut, therefore preventing them from being absorbed in the body. So all those 5 ingredients work synergistically to essentially help you with those various symptoms that we've been talking about.
That is amazing, and it's so nice to know that Uni-Enzyme provides all of that for you. And I know, Jackie, as a pharmacist, you know, I'm someone that goes to my pharmacist first when I'm not feeling well, when I've got all these different symptoms. If there's one thing you want to leave people with when it comes to looking after their gut, what would you like to say to them?
So what I'd like to say is that your gut is tied to to general well-being. So we've got something called the gut-brain axis. And if you look after your gut health, you're going to feel better, your mood's going to be better, your skin's going to look great, you're not going to have this discomfort and indigestion and all the rest of it. So I think, very important, please look after your gut health and you really will, your whole well-being will be better.
Oh, ladies, thank you so much. I feel inspired, and of course now I also want to put my gut health at the top of my list to focus on. And when it comes to gut issues, they do not have to be a life sentence, as we've just heard. Some are simply dietary changes that can actually end up making a massive impact on your gut health as well as your overall health, as Jackie has just mentioned. Now, if you would like more information, simply visit unienzyme.co.za or your nearest pharmacy to find out more.
As you heard, the foods you choose to eat play such an important role in keeping your gut happy and healthy. Now, eating a variety of foods may sometimes come as a challenge to many of us, especially when having to include fruit into your diet. Well, thanks to the 100% goodness of Crush, it has become a whole lot easier to do. Not only is it 100% refreshing, but it's also packed with vitamins A, C, and D to support your health. And the best part, you can enjoy it with almost anything, like our Crush mixed berry oat crumble bars. And Mama Vegan Attempts is going to be here to do it. I like calling you on your Insta handle. I feel like,
please, do that.
So it's on brand with you, Vegan Attempts.
Also follow me on Instagram.
Follow the girl. Follow the girl.
Okay.
I'm going to follow you because this is so yummy. And like, I love the fact that we're incorporating berries and of course the Crush because it has vitamins A and D. So take us through the recipe.
Okay, so you're going to start helping me, which I believe you've already started there with the flour and some butter.
Some butter. So we crumble that up because I didn't want to do that on TV because every time I'm battling in the kitchen, someone's like, Jamie, you can't cook, but I actually can sometimes. So we've already had our flour and our butter, and we've crumbled that up, and you're going to be doing the filling for our crumble.
Yes, I'm doing the filling, so I'm adding the berries here, and of course we're going to add in some sugar as well, and I'm going to mix in some cornstarch, which of course we're going to mix the cornstarch with some of our berry crush, okay?
And we can never have too much, because I'm actually going to pour us some of that as well, just for the, for the side, just to make sure the vocals are warm as well. And without a doubt, you're going to be getting 100% tasty, refreshing goodness in every sip from Crush, and also a good dose of vitamins to help your immune stay strong this winter, because as we know, winter is officially here. And you know what? The best way to enjoy any meal is simply with a refreshing Crush to add a dose of goodness to your day. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now, adding a bit of, that berry smell just hits you once you open the bottle.
Right.
So yeah, this is usually my job in the kitchen, is to be the hype girl and pour the drinks.
Yes.
But I am helping you. So how are you doing with the filling?
I'm doing well. It smells divine. So I'm going to wait until the simmers. We're going to cook the berries until they start to thicken. Obviously, you want them to be soft, okay?
Nice.
So while I'm waiting for that, can you please also add in there our sugar?
All of the sugar's going in?
Add all the sugar.
Okay. I got you, girl.
You want a fork there?
Yeah, use the fork.
Yeah.
Get that sugar in.
This, of course, and then some oats.
So this will be that crumble effect that we need.
Yes.
Adding some texture as well.
Yes.
So that's also going in. And then vanilla essence.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes. And we've got some baking powder there, and of course a pinch of salt. Okay, you can add some salt there and mix everything up. And you could use your fingers if you want. If you
Let's get dirty. Let's get in there.
You do that. And yeah, so I was actually thinking this is quite a versatile recipe. If you didn't want to use berries, you could use something like persimmon. I'm really loving persimmon, Sharon fruit.
Okay.
Have you eaten Sharon fruit?
No, I've never.
It's in season. Next time you go to the shops, go look for persimmon. It's so sweet. It's so delightful. So I was thinking you could use any fruit you want, really.
Definitely. You can play around with it.
Play around, and of course you could then decide which Crush to pair your fruit with. So today we're using berries because we're using the berry flavor because we're using berries. Hey.
And then the Sharon fruit, what do you think that would go with? With the orange, maybe like a nice orange crush to that? Yeah, definitely. As long as you're getting the vitamins in. That's my thing right now. It's like, if my immune system is going to benefit from this, I'm eating it, I'm drinking it, and that's my key to keeping, fit and healthy during winter.
Okay, so you want to transfer that into the pan and press it in, but of course before you do that you're going to separate out just about a handful.
A handful of this, because you want to use the crumble to create those layers on the top. I'm seeing what we're doing at the end result, so let me put some aside.
Yes.
And then we are going to put this into our baking tray.
Yes.
And this is obviously causing the crumble. We're just going to push that down.
Yes, press it down. And oh my goodness, I wish we had more time.
And are we going to let this sit first before we allow our filling to come in?
So we're going to bake it first. We want to bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're going to transfer the berries on top, and then top it off with some of our berry crumble. Bake it again until the edges are golden brown. Okay.
And roughly how long and on what temperature are we baking this?
180 degrees.
180 degrees.
And for about 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes. Yeah. And at the end of it, you have your beautiful oat crumble. You pair it with your Crush. And I mean, it is a winner. Now, that is 100% taste. To get the recipe, of course, you can head on over to our website, expressoshow.com. You can get this for you and your family, and I'm sure everyone will enjoy it. Enjoy.
Good morning, boy.
How's it, Dad?
How's the exams going?
100%?
100% what?
100% Crush. 100% fruit. 100% goodness.
With love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
Are you a newly qualified chef looking to pocket a whopping 15,000 Rand in cash and the title of Exceller Young Chef for 2022? Then listen up and enter now. Entry is easy. Simply follow the Exceller Young Chef competition link on Afternoon Express's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages and upload a video of you sharing your name, a short intro about yourself, when and where you qualified, and your signature Exceller dish using Exceller Thai long grain rice, sunflower oil, or mayonnaise. T's and C's do apply and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
Awesome, Zanzi. What a beautiful show we have had, and that is just going to continue right now. So grab your popcorn, people, because on Sunday, the highly anticipated MTV Movie and TV Awards, hosted by Vanessa Hudgens, took place as an epic one-night global event honoring the brightest stars in cinema, as well as small screen entertainment.
Oh, we already grabbed our popcorn. This one's eating it already.
Within.
That's his second bowl.
No. Don't lie to the people now. Take it easy.
Well, this year, everyone's favorite young superhero couple, Tom Holland and Zendaya, stole the show, winning Best Performances for Spider-Man No Way Home, as well as Euphoria, respectively. The couple couldn't make the event, but had some sweet sentiments to share. Let's take a look at it.
Love them so much.
She's a queen. I love her.
I
I'm
love
obsessed with
them.
her.
Actually, does anybody not love her? Let's be
No. You just want to be invited to anything that she does, and you want to just be her friend, right? She's so edgy, so cool. Now, continuing in the hero theme, English actress Sofia Di Martino was anything but low-key. You know, she raked up awards for Best Team and Best Breakthrough Performance for her role. I don't know if you guys remember this, Sylvie in Loki.
Yes.
From our words, she showed up and showed out there. In fact, let's see what she had to say.
Queen.
Star quality.
Queen, that is how you accept an award, everybody.
Now listen, as always, The Daily Show's Trevor Noah, yes, that's our man. He continued to fly our flag high, boosting a nomination for Best Topical Talk Show, which he unfortunately lost, but it was to Jimmy Fallon of The Tonight Show. So he did get multiple shout-outs from Fallon, although he included a comical cameo from Drew Barrymore, which I absolutely loved, and I want you to check this out.
Comical works too.
Yeah, it does.
On behalf of everyone here at The Tonight Show, thank you MTV and everyone who voted for us. We worked really hard to make a fun, positive show. I want to thank all the other nominees, Stephen Colbert, Kelly Clarkson, Trevor Noah, is there anyone I'm forgetting? Did I say Trevor Noah? Trevor Noah, congrats on the nomination. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, Trevor Noah and, yeah. Oh, and Drew Barrymore. Yeah, Drew Barrymore. Thank you, MTV.
Drew Barrymore doing a little young James.
She was on a mission.
From Dear Munster, just walking past the game.
It was his time to shine, everybody. But the one person that showed up is Miss J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. Who doesn't love her? We all do.
Oh, yeah.
We all do. Well, she ended the night on a high as she accepted the Generation Award and delivered an emotional speech in which she thanked her kids as well as her manager, Benny Medina. She truly held nothing back. Take a look at this.
Gorgeous, gorgeous girl.
Can we also just take a moment? She's 52 years old.
So you're about the same age. I mean, it's insane.
But seriously though, don't you think she literally, I don't know when it was exactly, how many years back when she first appeared on screens, she has frozen her look in time. She looks exactly the same as she did like 30 years ago.
But don't be fooled by the
looks that she has.
She's still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now she has a lot. And a lot of talent and a lot of love and heart to give. Now listen, when we return, my friend who's overseas, Jen Su, our entertainment guru, catches up with a few celebrities, and she'll be bringing you even more exclusive coverage of that MTV Movie and TV Awards ceremony that took place. So you want to make sure that you grab your popcorn and don't go nowhere. We'll see you just now. Hey, Miss Cut.
Want to win a taste of the smooth life? Buy a Tropica. Find your unique code under the cap and stand a chance to win your share of 100,000 Rand worth of Uber vouchers. If you find the word treasure under your cap, you'll win one of these 10 big prizes. A gas hob, a fridge, a clothing voucher worth 10,000 Rand, one of 3 Rest Assured beds, or one of 2 Uber vouchers worth 10,000 Rand each. You could also win a trip for 2 to the smooth Seychelles, or a whopping 250,000 Rand worth of prizes from Suzuki. So buy a Tropica today and you could win big. See pack details. Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody, to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Before Raul
just choking on all the popcorn.
We are back with some exclusive coverage of Sunday's MTV Movie and TV Awards 2022. Now, our very own, our friend, Miss Jen Sue, entertainment reporter to the stars, was there covering the event wearing a very flowing scarlet gown that just oozed opulence. She looked absolutely stunning. But let us take a look and a peek at some of the red carpet glam.
Good morning, Expresso. I'm Jen Sue. We're here at the red carpets at the MTV Movie and TV Awards at the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica. How are you this morning? Well, we are having a great time so far.
This is the golden popcorn, my favorite ever. You almost want to eat it. It's so yummy and delicious. See, this is the golden popcorn. And we're just kind of going to go, I'm going to take you down here. Here we are, MTV Movie and TV Awards with the logo and all. Don't forget Trevor Noah. Of course, we are rooting for him because he's nominated again for Best Talk and Topical Show. So let's hope it works out for Trevor Noah. We've got, of course, more of the positions here on the red carpet. Vanessa Hudgens is hosting, and I am so excited about it. It's a gorgeous day here in Los Angeles, and we're really looking forward to a fabulous awards show. So there you go. Let's root the very best for South Africa.
Hi, I'm Noveen Crumbie, and you're watching the 2022 MTV Movie and TV Awards.
All right, Taylor John Smith, welcome to Expresso.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this is your first MTV Movie and TV Awards?
Yeah, first time. It's very exciting. It's like a whole-on production, so it's a lot. It's cool.
Anyone in particular that you're looking forward to see?
No, just excited to be here. It's my first time, so I'm kind of taking it all in. It's all-encompassing.
So tell me about your outfit.
I'm wearing Sandro. Jenny Ricker styled me. She did a wonderful job.
And the shoes? I hear
shoes.
The shoes
they're slippery. I think it's like, I could go ice skating later. It's a little hot out for that, but it feels that way.
Oh, I love it. You've been to South Africa?
I have been to South Africa, yes, I have.
Where have you been in South Africa?
I've been to, South Africa, Cape Town. I also went to Mauritius, which is on the coast. Yeah, so I was in Africa for probably like 14 days. Had a great time, man. My people love it. Glad to be here.
I've never been to South Africa, but I do love Nando.
It's great. It's great to be here. It's my first time, and yeah, the crowd is really excited. Yeah, it's lovely to be here.
From the MTV Movie and TV Awards, I'm Jen Sue. Now back to you guys at the Expresso studio.
Our girl, holding it down for us, Jen Sue. She looks phenomenal.
She does. She
Wow.
looks absolutely amazing. I actually mistook her for one of the celebs, to be very honest with you, and she's celebbing it out. Now listen, Mzansi, as with many of the awards and at the award show, the celebs were dressed to the nines, as you have just seen. So here are our personal standouts. Now firstly, we have Vanessa Hudgens rocking a custom blue Vera Wang dress, looking phenomenal. Jamie, what do you think?
Oh my word.
Yay or nay?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm even going to go for a yes. I love it.
She always understands the assignment. I feel like with every awards show, she always dresses appropriately for like that age. Like MTV, it's fun, it's playful, it's colourful, and she did exactly that. I mean, now that we see award seasoning opening up again, that girl, definitely a yay for me. A yay for you?
Nailed it.
Nature
Nailed
Boy
it. It's a double yay for me.
Okay.
And just the fact that you got the wind to come and hit that dress as the picture was taken, how can you not say yay to that? I mean, come on.
Kudos to assistant as well for getting that look. But let us take a driver's license to the next look, because Olivia Rodrigo is next, turning quite a few heads in a vintage number by Jean-Paul Gaultier. What do you think? Is this a yay or nay for you?
It screams out classy and opulent for me. I like the fact that it does have that hint of that Jean-Paul Gaultier, like just that pizzazz that he does possess. It's sophisticated, it's not making a massive statement, but that's where the statement is for me. It's in that subtlety and in that elegance. I love it. Black on black on black. How can you go wrong?
Okay. Well, listen, she's cute, she's pretty. Sometimes someone says if you don't have anything good to say, you just keep quiet. So I'm just going to leave you to say something like that.
Ruthless, eh?
No. I feel like it's a safe look. However, because we spoke about J-Lo, we have the ever-radiant Miss Jennifer Lopez in a sultry black number. I mean, this person can do nothing wrong. She is just fierce. She's fearless. She's giving me vibes. Is it a yay or nay?
I feel like if this was an event and she was an athlete, she would have won. and she'll be standing there with like a cup of some sort. So it's a definite yay for me. And it's, if anything, a celebration of the woman's poise and the way she's carried herself through the years. And at that age, 52 years old, come on.
Yeah, I just want to look like that when I'm 30. That's what I want. I don't want anything else but to look like J-Lo when I'm 30.
But look, lastly, we're not sure about this one. It's actress Lana Conda and Aquafina's colourful ensembles. But what do you guys think? Toot or boot?
Let's see.
No. It's a statement. Definitely a statement.
It's giving me like a Kim Kardashian vibe. You know, they like those colours and colours. And the, like these neon colours are in right now. So I would say yay.
I'm going to say yay for functionality. Like if you ever go out or you get lost at a festival, you know where to find her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a beacon there. So I'm yay for functionality on that one.
Okay, next time we go to a festival, you're going in a blue, like all-in-one thing.
unitard.
A unitard.
Okay,
there we
deal.
go. A mankini. A mankini. Well, regardless, it seemed like everyone had a jolly time at this year's MTV Movie and TV Awards, and I can't wait to see what the winners and nominees bring to the table next. But again, thank you so much to Jen Sue for keeping it down on that side.
Well, it's time to bring it back to the kitchen here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, because that's what we do on a Tuesday. We choose to elevate the feel good with creativity, and we're calling on each and every single one of you to express creatively as you can and as you want, because Golden Cloud is giving you a chance, you and your bestie, to hit the big time and win some incredible prizes. I'm talking about that grand prize of 50,000 Rand that you stand a chance to win, because you know what? Christmas comes early on Expresso, as Golden Cloud and Beacon really do go out and search for South Africa's best friends baking duo. It's exhilarating. Let's get Raul Demone and Jamie Lee Domberg in the house. Guys, I am literally almost out of breath because I had to put all of this together so quickly for you guys. Assembled this entire situation here so that you guys can come and compete.
Why, thank you.
Are you feeling competitive this morning?
Well, Zoe's not here and she's like hectic at these games, so I'm actually looking forward to just having some fun. Yeah. But always bringing the competitive edge as
You've got to do that, and I think that that's going to inspire so many people out there who are considering entering this competition. Honestly, get your best friend. Doesn't matter how old you are, how old your best friend is. If it's a go-go going with, you know, their grandchild, for example, you're welcome. Honestly, it doesn't matter, okay? What we want to see, though, is we want to see you create your bake with Golden Cloud and Beacon to really enter the challenge and step into the challenge. Share your photo of the bake on the Golden Baker Search Christmas in July edition competition post, which you can find on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages. Remember to use that very important hashtag. It's Golden Baker Search. Tell us why you are South Africa's best baking duo, you and your bestie, and why you think that your creation is best. In fact, speaking of creations being best, I've already set the tone here.
You did not make that.
Please, Jamie, less talking, more concentration on challenge, okay? I have got 2 cones there for you guys.
Okay.
You have got a minute to really create a masterpiece, and that starts in 3, 2, 1. I will just move over that way so I can
go this
see
side. Let me go this
and
side.
judge properly from this end.
All right, but now I need one of those as well.
Okay, we can share. We can share.
Okay, let's share. Let's
so there we go.
So maybe
this is how, like, we're not competitive at all.
Yeah, you see, we're like a team. We're a team. I like this. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So I'm using this is my one, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh, so now you're not a team anymore. Now you've got your one. Ha, ha, ha. Love to see it. So for all of you out there who have a passion for baking, you know, and you seem to have the type of chemistry that we're seeing with Jamie Lee and Raul, maybe, share that with the country. Yes, show South Africa. We want to see. This is your chance. You could be one of the 5 finalists competing on Expresso live here for that grand prize worth 50,000 Rand. The winning duo will also be crowned live here next month in July, because we're bringing Christmas a little bit sooner and closer. Christmas in July. Yeah. Ratimoni.
What?
What is happening there?
Can I toss out? I don't want him to be my partner anymore.
Okay, let's do it this way. One person must pipe and then one person must decorate, because This...
What's wrong with my piping? I've got this rustic pipe effect here. It's like the tree was in the wind a bit and some of the leaves blew off. It's like transitioning into winter. Oh.
Can I tell you what? Every single time Riley and I goes into this challenge, he's always talking about like rustic when he messes things up. But it's okay. I see the vision for it.
It's a good escape. Rustic. Just call it rustic.
Together?
Let's keep decorating and see how far you can get. Okay. Maybe make it a collaborative effort.
Yes, definitely. So I'm Riley.
Help Riley out. I mean, that man is struggling hard there.
I think sometimes, you know what, you can't help people. Like, they need to help themselves. Like, you can't...
Wow. I think you need some help yourself, Jamie Lee Domberg, my love.
I am just, you know what, thinking...
All of that. I mean, what is it that you are trying to achieve? Let's talk about that.
I'm about the minimalistic look. That's just my vibe that's going right now. So I just wanted to, you know, put a dollop of that, the green on top, add that pecan chocolate just to, like, make sure that it's good. And then, yeah, I think the rest speaks for itself.
All right, answer me this. Are you proud of the work that you've created today, Ryle? Is this something you would want your children to see of their father?
Boy, you're going deep now. Whoa. I don't know about that, but I do like the fact that there's a great story behind mine. And that's with anything. There's a good memory, is a good story as well. And that's what you got here. A rustic tree transitioning from autumn to winter, if that's the way it works. And
Jamie?
you've got some chocolate loving on that. Come on.
Dis is trappe van vergelijking. Good, best, the better.
This is the one I made, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm not part of the challenge.
Off screen, but like starting from the bottom, and this is the end goal. So this is we're just showing people.
Now
again, it's a story.
Yeah.
It's a story.
Yes, there you go.
This is how it started.
Too many stories, my Jamie. Too many stories. Too little creativity, I'm afraid, yeah. But maybe this is it. Maybe this is how you express your own creativity as well. Hey, you never know. Who knows? Bring it. Bring it to the Expresso kitchen and show it to us. Brought to you by Golden Cloud and Beacon. The entries for this competition will close on the 17th of July. Get some Golden Cloud and really get in there. Show us what you and your bestie are made of. Hopefully, a lot more than this bestie duo that we've seen here today. And I love them. Great people, I'm sure. But great bakers? I don't know. Debatable. ExpressoShow.com for T's and C's. Ah, guys, I can't teach you everything.
Wow.
Get out of here.
That's right. How did
you know?
How did it
I can't teach you everything.
What's beta-glucan? Hello, do you know what beta-glucan is? What is beta-glucan? No one knows what beta-glucan is.
Beta-glucan is a natural fiber in jungle oats that helps lower cholesterol and keep hearts well.
Jungle. Do life with heart.
Celebrate our dads and win. Catch Expresso to stand a chance to win a 2,500 Rand cash prize from Panado each weekday morning from the 6th to the 16th of June. Tell us what the best thing that your dad or husband does that makes him a phenomenal dad. Don't forget to include the competition hashtag #ADoseOfCare. Each day's competition closes at 10 a.m. and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's been such big fun. Yes, it is. Your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. We're wrapping it up on a really sexy note for a Tuesday morning. Yes, tell them I told you that. Because August Funde, West Station, August West is in the house, one of Cape Town's finest musicians, more especially on the saxophone. Now, he's got original music coming out later this year. You want to be making sure that you are waiting for that in anticipation. So that's something to look forward to, I know that. But before that, here's one last performance. This one is Versace by Bruno Mars. Put it on the floor.
For when it's chilly or rainy or just for the sake of it, here's the toastiest ways of keeping winter at bay, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.